Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, it's a light show. It's a light show. I didn't have really a lot of news stories to talk about. I saw a video about Tim Cain talking about how the internet has changed game design. So I was like, we could watch that. We could watch that and talk about. We like watching Tim Cain stuff. Haven't watched Tim Cain in quite a bit, but we'll go over that. There was a video that I watched yesterday about Luke Stevens was talking about PC Gamer, and they were talking about how he's a person named I think it was Joshua something was one of the writers at PC Gamer, and he wrote a piece about James Bond that it shouldn't be a video game, right? And it was kind of weird because I was watching him react to the article. Now, I don't want to watch his video and react to his video watching the article or reading the article. I might just read the article and we'll break it down from there. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We are at 6 of 10, so that number up above, if you're looking on the chat for the super chat, that's for today, but the total week is if we hit 10, if you guys want, we do an extra stream on Friday. We started it last week. We hit that goal last week. Or 6 of 10. If you click on that, it says 6 of 10. So you guys don't think I'm like resetting it to like trick you in any way, shape, or form. It literally says it. We are 6 of 10 for that goal. So if you guys want to do that, obviously you're more than welcome to do that. It's not mandatory in any way, shape, or form. We do this regardless if we hit the goal or not. We do it Monday through Thursday. All right, what's going on, chat? Let me see who's all here. Eclipse, good morning. Ashraf, good morning. And Travis, good morning. Altar and Roic, good morning. Water Bear. Who am I missing? Kylo, good morning. Mr. Z, good morning. Who are we missing? Anybody else? I see Kylo. I think that's it. All right. Water Bear says...
Now you're at 7/10. It's mandatory.
There you go. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Appreciate you, Water. Appreciate you. So it's now at 7 out of 10. Thank you, sir. I can't change that now, so it's 6 of 10, and then we'll add the 1 is 7. Talking in chat this morning, you guys are talking about... What the hell just happened there? Talking about the sandwiches and stuff. Travis, you're like, what do you call when you toast this thing? That's called toasting. That's not called cooking, right? And I haven't eaten at Subway, not because it's bad. I just haven't eaten at Subway in like 20 years. Haven't eaten at McDonald's in 25 years. Haven't eaten at Burger King in like, I don't know, it's got to be like 22 years. I haven't eaten at Wendy's in 2 years. Taco Bell, that's every once in a while, maybe twice a year, if that. I don't really go out to those places. Chipotle, I'll eat at Chipotle. And we go to a lot of like mom and pop places. So if there's like a burger joint, I'd rather go to a local burger joint than a chain burger joint. So much so, I have a story to tell you. Right? So yesterday we went to this pizzeria, and my wife's like, "Oh, the new restaurant opened. Let's go try it out." And I said, "Okay, cool." So it's like a pizzeria. We thought it was like an Italian restaurant. We go in there, and it's empty. Right? So the signs are like, okay, maybe it's empty because we got there early. It's like 4:30, right? So we're like, maybe the dinner crowd hasn't come in yet, whatever, right? So it's like 4:30. We sit down, it's empty. We're like, well, maybe they have a lot of takeout. They didn't have a lot of takeout. The nice gentleman comes to the table and says, and I ask him, what's better? What do you recommend, right? I'm looking at the chicken parm or I'm looking at the lasagna. And he goes, oh, they're both good. They're both made fresh. They're both made fresh. I was like, okay, cool. So I order the lasagna. My wife orders the chicken parm. We wait. Nice place, right? No bad experience or anything. But we know food. And the food gets delivered. And he says, be careful. The lasagna is scorching hot. And I went, all right, cool. Right? So the first thing I do when someone tells me it's hot, I cut it down the center, right? And then I touch the center, right? Because you could tell if it's frozen, if it was a frozen thing they made and then they put it in the oven, and if it's fresh. So I cut my lasagna open, And the lasagna is lukewarm at the bottom. Now, if you put a popping height fresh lasagna in the oven, you're not going to get lukewarm at the bottom. So I knew for a fact that he didn't make it fresh. And if he did make it fresh, then they put it in the freezer or whatever. And then the chicken parm that my wife got, the chicken, the way it was breaded, right? We're like, yeah, this is not made fresh. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't good, right? It was like, it was passable. The sauce was good, but you can't be skipping out on stuff like that. Yeah, that's the reason they were empty. They just opened up, I want to say like 2 months ago. There was an Italian place there that was there for years. They closed down. Yeah, I love a good chicken parm. But when you tell me a lasagna, you're like, yeah, you gotta get the lasagna. The lasagna is good, right? It's hard to beat my mom's lasagna or my grandmother's recipe of lasagna, right? But when you tell me it's fresh, I cut that shit open and it's lukewarm at the bottom. I know 100% your shit was frozen because you didn't put it in the oven long enough, obviously. And if you make a fresh one, you'll just get a little bit of a crisp on the top layer, right? But this one was like that hard, you know what I'm talking about? That like hard, plasticky up on top. Yeah. That's not made fresh. I'm excited though. This weekend we're going down south and we're going to this place called Mamma Mia's. My son loves ordering from there. They have good food. They have a good chicken parm and veal parm. Oof. Just thinking about it right now, I'm hungry. Just thinking about it, I'm hungry. So there's a little story for you. Kraken says, everything is so expensive, you may as well spend an extra buck at a higher quality place instead of a fast food that you can't even get your correct sauce you ask for. It's very true. It's very true. If you're going to like, I don't know, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, for a meal for yourself, you might as well go to an actual restaurant. It's the same prices now, which is crazy. Fast food is just as expensive as a cafe. Like if you go down and sit somewhere, right? The only difference is you're going to spend a little bit more because you have to tip the waitress or whatever. But if you go to a place that's like self-serve, right, you might as well go eat better food and you're paying the same price. I've been craving, Travis, some Italian food, right? Like a spaghetti bolognese, some alla vodka, Clips doesn't make spaghetti and bake spaghetti, but I layer it with lasagna. It's so damn good. Oh man, that sounds good. That I've been craving. Chicken piccata. I make a good chicken piccata. That's the only thing I make. Well, chicken parm and chicken piccata. It's my wife's favorite thing. I make a chicken piccata for her. It's special because I only make it like once a year, twice a year, maybe. Go to Olive Garden. Get out of here, Drummond. Get out of here, Olive Garden. Their salad's good. Their breadsticks are good. Olive Garden. No, we have. There's a lot better places out there for Italian food than the Olive Garden. Kraken says, hot take. I only tip if the service is fantastic, the way the Lord intended. I will tip 98% of the time. You got to do something really shitty to not get a tip from me. Yeah. I won't over tip unless you're going above and beyond the stuff. If you're just dropping shit off, I'm Todd, I'll be your waiter today. How can I get it? Blah, blah, blah. And I never see that person again. You're getting absolutely nothing. If you're coming back, you tell me your name, you're bullshitting with me a bit, you bring us food, you're bullshitting more with us, you come back, you fill our drinks without us asking, then you get what you're supposed to get. Right? If I have to be like, can he see us? Are we here? Does he know we're here? Yeah. And it starts right when you walk in. Waterbear says, we have a spot called Pasta Bella. That's amazing. I love Italian. But I can't eat too much of it because it bloats me. Oh, yeah. Well, you're at the gym the next day going, God damn it. I mean, look, I know you guys can't see my belly, okay? But I'm like a pregnant man, okay? I got like a 3-month-old in there. I got to start doing more sit-ups and stuff. Going to a local Italian place tonight. Hope it's good. Very good reviews, so I'm ready. Nice. You know what the problem is about Italian restaurants, though, Kylo? It's just pasta. It's so fucking expensive. How the hell is pasta so goddamn expensive? I used to make the pasta with my grandmother when I was a kid. We'd sit in the kitchen, and she would hand roll that shit through, and we pull the pasta, right? And now you're charging me, $22 for a bowl of pasta. And I'm like, I know what it takes to make this. It's cheap. You go to an Italian grandmother's house, she's giving you like 1.5 pounds of pasta just for you. You go to an Italian restaurant, it's like an ounce of pasta, $22. Like, what? How's that possible? Yeah, it's crazy. If you give me like, all right, so last night the chicken parm on my wife's plate was like this big, right? Like this big. Okay. You go to this place down south when we go this Friday, okay? Fucking pasta or the chicken is like, it's like the size of my face, and there's 2 pieces, right? Sure, you're paying like $30, but there's like, it feeds like 4 people, 5 people. $15 for chicken parm, $20 for the chicken piccata. I would love that price. That feeds 1 though, right? For the price they charge, it better be like 2 full meals. That's what I'm saying, right? There's no leftovers. We ate the thing last night and we're like, okay. I want to look at it and go, Jesus Christ, I can't eat that whole thing in one sitting. And then I do. And then I'm like, unnotch the belt. Where's the best Italian place you've been? My grandmother's house. Yeah, my grandmother's house. No, actual place. There's a place. Oh God, I forget where. It's about 12 miles from me. We found it about 6 months ago. Right. We happened to eat next door to a cheesesteak place, and as we were walking to the cheesesteak place, I saw this Italian restaurant, and I was like, I think it's called Bella Tuscan or Tuscan Bella or something like that. And oh man, it's good. It's good. It's packed constantly. The desserts are fantastic. Everything's fantastic. I know everyone's like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's like, I'm starving now. You're welcome. All right. Let's start off. It's the only thing we have. Is Tim Cain. This is the thing I wanted to watch and talk about. There's a place in Orlando called Maggiano's. Oh, yeah, I've been there. Or something like that. It's amazing. I've been to Maggiano's. Yep. I think it's called Maggiano's. There's a lot of good. We don't have an Italian place by me. There's not an Italian place over here. Someone was smart. They would open an Italian place over here. Plenty of Mexican. There's like 15 Mexican restaurants, and they're always packed. That's why we went to an Italian restaurant yesterday, because it was Cinco de Mayo, and I'm not going to a Mexican restaurant. Mr. Z says, Tim, oh Tim, yeah, we're gonna. We have Tim. Let's see, we have a Tim song. We got a Tim song.
Tim Cain walks in with a question so bold. Do gamers know what they want? He's told. The crowd says yes, but then starts to fight. Tim shakes his head. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tell me what's good, not what's gone wrong. If you just complain, the list gets too long. You say, this
it's been a while since we watched the Tim video.
Fix the bugs or scrap the whole scene. Tell me what's good, give me a clue. If you only rant, then what can I do? Do gamers know what they want?
No.
Do devs know what gamers want?
Also no. All right. So we got Tim Cain here. And the video is called How the Internet Changed Game Design. Okay. Now, we watched this not to make fun of Tim. That was a video almost 2 years ago. We watched Tim about Tell Me What You Want. All right. This one is How the Internet Changed Game Design. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's watch this. Link in the description down below, by the way.
Jerry.
What? What, Tim? What are we doing?
Jerry. Hi, everyone. It's me.
You gotta love Tim. Tim, you're a good guy.
Tim. Today I want to talk about
Hi, Tim. How are you?
how the internet changed game design.
Okay.
This is from a question from Padoni Rosso. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. How did your thought process...
I'm sorry. I still have the. Let's watch it one more time. Let's watch it one more time.
Jerry. Hi, everyone.
I don't know why that just makes me laugh.
It's me,
I don't know
Tim.
why.
Today I want to talk about how the internet changed game design. This is from a question from Padoni Rosso. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. How did your thought process in designing and making games change, or maybe what adaptations did you see in general in making games by the industry around you with the advent of social media and video games?
First, I want to say I do like Mark Daria, right? Laura Fryer, Tim Cain, anybody that's been in the video game industry for as long as they have to come out and just speak out about stuff like that. I love it. I love it. I know we break down stuff of Tim and Laura and Mark, but I love that people that can come out and talk and give us like a glimpse, a little thing on the inside of game design.
Game streamers. To what extent and how do developers and or publishers keep in mind how streamable are their current projects in development? I'm sure that video game streaming cannot be ignored as a sort of mostly free commercial and promotion circuit for a modern day game. So how do you guys manage this change from what making and selling games was only 10 to 20 years ago? 10 to 20 years? I'm going to go back 45.
I'm 47. Okay, I'm 47.
By the way, when I talk about how it changed the design, it's not just the design of the games. I want to talk about how they were portrayed to the public and also how the public received them. So because of that, I'm not going to talk about multiplayer games because there was a big switch from LAN to client server for a lot of reasons that are beyond the scope of what I want to talk about here. But if you want to talk about how design docs changed over that same 45-year time period, I have a video that I'll link below called Evolution of Video Game Design Docs. And if you want to know how
it's got to be crazy to be. It's got to be crazy to be something in the very beginning of the thing, right? Like, obviously, I was a kid when video games came out, right? I played the Atari 2600 when I was 3 years old with the bowling game, going from left to right, throwing a pixel or 8 pixels to other pixels, right? That was it. That was the beginning of why I loved video games. Okay, it's got to be crazy to be one of the people. I've never invented anything, right? I've never invented something that's never existed and then it was there and then people worked on it, right? It has to be crazy to be one of those people. Back then, you're like, yeah, I'm going to make this thing, right? And then people are going to love it. It's crazy to me to think that what video games are today and what they were 45 years ago.
felt technology changed
on,
relevant to video games. I have a whole technology evolution video. I'll link that below too. So this is a big question that was asked because there's been a lot of changes of the internet. What we called it. It was the Usenet, ARPANET, internet, web.
Yeah.
It's just online. It's just the net. And I want to start back in when I started, which is the early 80s. So I'm going to talk about all of the 80s here and part of the early 90s. Back then, you pretty much made what you wanted.
Right, because there wasn't a market. You're like, hey, let's make a cop game. Let's make a medieval game. Let's make a spaceship game. And there wasn't like, oh yeah, let's make the spaceship one. They're really selling well. Like nobody knew. They're like, yeah, let's just make this and see what works.
I've called it the Wild West. There's a video I made very recently called Carefree to Careful. I'll link it below, where I talk about that. But there wasn't really a net, so everything was done in print. There were guides and even whole walkthroughs printed in magazines and other printed media. But most people who played games just figured it out.
Yes. Yeah. Because you couldn't look up something. Imagine a game. I know it's hard to imagine this. Imagine a game like Red Dead Redemption or a Crimson Desert with zero internet, right? I'm playing it with zero internet, looking up stuff for Crimson Desert. But obviously, as I go through Twitter, I see things that are on there. I'm not looking it up. It just happens to be there. But imagine being back then with no internet whatsoever. Like, it would be almost impossible. Like, you would never know if someone beat the game or didn't beat the game, or people would just get lost in the game. They'd be like, yeah, I've been playing for 4,000 hours. I haven't found anything.
I would say the majority of people who play games didn't go get walkthroughs or reviews.
Well, of course.
They saw a game, they bought it, they took it home, they may
unless they bought the strategy guide,
read the manual while it installed, and then they played it. What was cool about back then was categories of games were really loose, if they were used at all. There were a few terms like role-playing games, sim, 4X, although they didn't even really call it 4X. I mean, I just called it like exploration. Most games weren't categorized. You figured out what kind of game it was by looking at the back of the box and looking at the screenshots. That was a long time.
You got 3 pictures on the back of the box. And from the that's a bad pause there. Sorry, Tim. Right, there was 3 pictures on the back of the box, and the only other way you got any information was when the next Nintendo Power came out or a magazine came out and showed you a 2-paragraph, and 3 more screenshots. And you're like, oh my god, it looks so cool.
That was probably a decade and a half where that's how games were sold, and that's how games. They were sold physically, and people found out about them by word of mouth or looking at the game store. Very rarely printed media. All of that started changing in the late 90s and the 2000s. The internet became insanely popular. It came from being something that I used academically.
Right, Eclipse? Right? Stuff like that. Eclipse says, I remember the first I looked at the back of the box of Diablo 2, it was instantly sold. Yeah, it was that simple. You didn't go to IGN. You didn't go to like 15 websites. You didn't ask anybody. You just picked up the box. You flipped it around. You looked at it and went, that looks cool. And then you bought it.
Suddenly all my friends were talking about it. All my friends were using it, and they were very excited about it. And they were like, did you know about email? Yeah, I've been using email for a decade. But now everybody has email, and everyone's getting email addresses. The internet got so popular that people could easily find a guide to any game they...
Is he starting in the 80s, or is he starting... I know he said he's in the early 80s. But email and stuff for the mass public didn't come until the late 90s.
wanted to play online. And game categories started tightening up. There was adventure games were separated from role-playing games. What this affected, what I did is I was starting to become more, it was more possible for me to have a say in what I wanted to make. I wasn't making games because other people said, here's what we're making this year. But people were like, hey, what do you want to make? And I put together some engines. So I started making my games more complex, which subsequently made walkthroughs harder to define. I mean, what kind of character did you make? What choices did you make as you were playing? These all affected the walkthroughs. I remember when somebody asked me what I imagined the walkthrough for Fallout was going to be like, and I'm like, it can be really different. You don't have to go to these places in any particular order, and depending on what kind of character you're making, some of them are easier, some of them are harder, and what you do in those locations will be different. So that was fun to me. Then starting, I'm going to say YouTube, which was February 2005.
Yeah, it was 2005, 2006.
At that point, videos became very easy for people to share. Playthroughs were really easy to make.
Playthroughs didn't happen on YouTube then. They were getting put on what was Twitch called before? Justin TV, right? They were on Justin TV more than they were on YouTube back then.
And share, and easy to find, which meant people could just watch a game being played and decide if that's what a game they wanted to buy. And if they were ever stuck, they could just look up a playthrough. Sometimes a playthrough.
Yeah, but that's not early. That's not mid 2000s, Tim. That's not mid 2000s. That didn't happen until 2010, 11 is when you're talking about the walkthroughs and stuff of video games.
Of just that one spot they were stuck in. This trivialized puzzles. because you could just type, Fallout Master How to Kill, and it would just.
That's how he types still. and the reason he types like this is because he used to use a typewriter. We all did. You're like tick, 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 tick. That's how he did it.
Lay it out. There'd be a video. Here's what you do. Are you good at combat? Do this. Do you have this particular armor or weapons? Do this.
Yeah, Travis, we literally played it before we started this segment.
Or you have speech? Do this. Do you have stuff?
Like, tell me you're not listening to the stream. We literally played the song before we started this video.
Do this. Nobody had to figure it out. They could just look it up. So instead, I started focusing my games on what your character could possibly do. And then puzzles relied more on finding the puzzle pieces as doing them in the right order. So, like, the Master was a good example of it. It survives to this day because even if you read what you have to do, you still have to go do all those things. You just don't go in and go, speech 100, Master. So what I liked is it my game started going from finding items and using them to exploring all these places, learning about things, and then you could use them. Especially not just in combat, but in dialogue. Then the 2010s rolled around, and now those walkthroughs and videos online were starting to get replaced with influencers. I don't recall.
All right, hold on a second. I think he's like 5 years too early. Don't get me wrong. There are influencers and stuff like that, but YouTube back in 2000, 2008, 2009 is when personalities started happening on YouTube, right? But like cat videos, the lightsaber or Star Wars kid, right? All that stuff was happening at that part, right? At that, it doesn't matter where I pause it on Tim's face. He's always making these weird faces. I'm sorry, Tim, right? So it was like completely different back then. There was influencers, but they weren't called influencers. They're just YouTubers, and they had like different types of segment. It's not what we know of today, like red versus blue and stuff like that. Minecraft videos started taking off around 2000. Yeah, I would say 2011, 2010, 2011. But we didn't get like the people making the videos as he's talking about until a couple years later.
Hearing the word influencer before the 2010s. What was interesting about these individuals is more than showing how to play games, they were actually recommending whether you should buy them or not. Differently than journalists. Journalists would frequently say, look at the game, look at all these, look at the feed.
Tim is all over the place, Sarge. Now what he's talking about for outlets used to be that. Back in the early 2000s, they would tell you, hey, look at this game, this is what it is. But then outlets became Access Media, and Access Media would tell you just to buy the game because they were bought and paid for, have been for decades now. And then YouTubers didn't start telling you what to like or review, and then they became also influencers, which then became Access Media. But I want to say about 2014, 15 is when people started telling you, if the game was good or bad. But that's also Access Media for YouTubers now.
Features, and it supports this, and it's very similar to this game, and blah, blah, blah. And then they'd finally give it, like, we're going to give it an 8 out of 10 because it was a little buggy, but we liked it. Influencers did something different. They were like, here's a game. I love it. It's for you. And let me show you. And then they show high points of it. Game print magazines, by the way, by the 2010s are already dying. And I think this killed them because why wait for a review when someone you already followed could just tell you about the game and whether or not you should buy it?
Yep.
Publishers responded to this by sending copies of the game to influencers.
Yeah. And then those influencers are like, oh, wow, people have noticed me. People listen to what I say. And then they become a little bit not of an influencer anymore of a game they liked. Now they're persuaded, well, they gave me something for free, and now I have to talk about it, and I want to get more free stuff. So they talk nice about it instead of telling you what it actually is, right? And then they became Access Media because they don't want to get blacklisted because they're making a living. They're like, oh my God, People are actually watching my videos of me talking about this video game, and they gave me the video game for free. Hence why no one should get free video games. Everyone should pay for their video game. Reviews shouldn't come out weeks before. They should come out and wait. You don't buy day one. You don't pre-order the game. You wait for people to buy the game, play the game, review that game, and then, and only then, you look at it and go, all right, I'll buy it. So a week after, or whatever it is. But now they give it to them a week ahead of time. They play it. They got to say a couple negative things, but most of the time it's positive because they don't want to lose access.
And online channels just as much as they did to game journalists. And that kind of changed things because the journalists were at least, I think, sometimes trying to be objective.
No, they lost that long time ago.
I don't think there's any objectivity. I mean, influencers themselves go, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, or I'm here for the hardcore. So many designers like myself, we frequently thought, well, how is a certain event in the game going to look like when someone's playing it live or recording themselves playing it to put up as a stream? We thought about cinematics, we thought about end bosses, we thought about unusual weapons you could get. And because of that, we wanted it to look really good.
So you started making stuff to persuade people instead of looking at the back of the box and going, hey, that looks cool. Instead of the box art and going, that looks like a cool game. Like, look at the box art for like Gauntlet and stuff back in the day. They didn't look anything like the game that you played. Just the box art sold you on it. Now you can hear Tim saying, we literally changed things so it would look cool. So if someone was playing it, they were using a cool weapon or cool thing instead of just showing the game. They were trying to already persuade you, well, you see this weapon, you too could get that weapon, instead of just showing you the gameplay.
Video. And that was one reason like particle effects became a big thing, because you just didn't want it to go boom. You wanted a big explosion and wanted it to be pretty and colorful. And all these things, especially in a clip, because people will see that on some channel.
This is not earth-shattering news. The back of the box was just 3 screenshots of a game. That was it. That sold you. Your headcanon, looking at that box like, that looks amazing. Now they're trying to persuade you. Look what Anthem did. Remember what Anthem did? Anthem showed you this vast open world and the things, and you're diving down and spreading over things. They were showing things falling over and blowing up. And we didn't get any of that. We didn't get any of that.
Where someone's talking about the game and they see that clip and now they really want to play the game. So now you're thinking about your game the way we used to think about interviews. When you went into an interview, you're like, okay, I got to have some sound bites ready so that, you know, when I get quoted, I want to make sure the sound bite's quoted. Now it's like, what part of our game would make good clips for influencers to show?
See, I think that's, I personally don't agree because you're now not making the game for the players or what the game is. You're trying to handpick moments, highlights or whatever to put out there to pretend your game is something else other than what the game is. If 90% of your game is this thing, but you choose to pick that one thing to show people to make it look like it's that, I don't want to say it's false advertisement. It's not. It's not false advertisement because it's still in the game, right? But you're trying to, instead of just selling the game, make a game, sell a game. You're making a game, and you're trying to sell that game off of false pretenses to make it look better than what it actually is, instead of just showing you what the game actually is.
And now we're in the 2020s, and many gamers don't even look to influencers for reviews. They look to influencers to be told how to think about the games. So people don't form opinions from the online video. They're handed an opinion.
All right, well, hold on a second. This happened exactly the same back in the day. If I was playing a game on the Nintendo, and I'm playing the game, and I brought my friend over, it's a one-player game. I'm playing the game. He asks me, is the game good? I'm like, yeah, it's great. He's being told by the one person that's playing the game, yeah, it's good. And because he respects me, right? Because he's a friend or whatever, He's like, oh, well, Mike likes it, so I'll probably like it. I trust Mike, so I'm going to. There's no difference here. There's zero difference here, what's happening right now. Those of you that watch me, you're like, well, Mike's played it on Scream. He says he liked it. It's not my cup of tea of that type of game, but he likes it. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot because I respect what he plays and what he likes, so I'm going to give it a shot, right? We all do that right now, right? If someone's playing, I'm like, hey, is Diablo 4 expansion good? And Clips will be like, yeah, it's actually fun. It gets me thinking, well, maybe I should pick it up because I respect on what Eclipse plays. I know what type of games he plays, right? It's the same things happening. Nothing's changed, right? Obviously, are there people like, well, he said it and they bought it and they just buy it without thinking? Sure, I guess. But nothing's changed in that format. You go to a restaurant, I just said this before we even watched this video. You ask the waiter, who I just met, but he works there, so you would think he has some input, and you're like, what are you guys known for? You're like, oh, I recommend, whatever. Obviously, if you recommend the highest price, it's trying to make the sale. But if he goes, oh, no, you should get the chicken parm, you're like, all right, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you because I didn't look up any reviews for the restaurant. You told me the chicken parm is good. I'm going to trust you, so now you get the chicken parm. You eat the chicken parm, and all of a sudden, you're like, wow, it's actually good. Now you trust the waiter. So next time you come into that restaurant, if you like the thing, if he lies to you, you're never going back. That's just the way it works.
From the online channel they're watching. What this means is I've seen reviews go from...
Mr. G says, 30, I think he's saying the devs are listening, not other players, to the opinions. Well, I don't even think he's saying that they're listening, right? He's saying that they're trying to make the game because of the influencer. So let's just put it this way. Let's say they're making a game, but they want, I don't know, who's a big Azzacross, right? Azzacross likes first-person shooter games, so now I'm making a first-person shooter game, right? Now I'm making the game going, all right, who is this game for? Well, it's the people that watch Azzacross. So we should put something in there that Azzacross has been saying. And they're trying to make that game feel something that he could play, right? And again, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying Azzacross is right? I'm just picking a big streamer. It's got, a million people or whatever, right? The developers start to make that game for that moment to sell it instead of just making the game. Let the game speak for itself. Let the chicken parm speak for itself. If the chicken parm is good, right? If the chicken parm is good, people are going to come and eat the chicken parm. If your game is good, people are going to come and play your game. This is proven over and over and over. If you start to manipulate the game to pretend it's something it's not, it will fail because that's not what it is.
This game has less combat and more puzzles and dialogues for you to interact with than this other game. 2, this game is stupid and slow paced and made for casuals. I think you should skip it. That's a huge difference in how games are presented.
Hold on, let me rewind that for a second.
Reviews go from, this game has less combat and more puzzles and dialogues for you to interact with than this other game. 2, this game is stupid and slow paced and made for casuals. I think you should skip it.
That's his opinion. And if you respect the opinion of the person you're watching, then they're automatically going to take that, right? Again, we've talked about this about Tim before. He focuses on I'll play it one more time because he's giving feedback to one that's not being, just dismissive. And the other one is, well, this is stupid combat type of thing.
Good morning, 30 in chat.
War, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Good morning. Come on, Roadkill. Oh, doggy, they're calling us casuals. All right, so listen to the way he explains it again.
What this means is I've seen reviews go from, this game has less combat and more puzzles and dialogues for you.
Right, just telling you what it is. Play the game and just describe what it is. 2,
you'd interact with than this other game. 2, this game is stupid and slow paced and made for casuals. I think
this game is stupid, right? So now he's focusing on, well, now if someone says this game is stupid, it's reverberating that the game is stupid. Well, people will look at it. They can see with their eyes. So if I'm playing a game and I call it stupid, some of you will look at it and go, it is stupid. Others will be like, I don't think it looks stupid. Because you can see it with your own eyes.
You should skip it. That's a huge difference in how games are presented. But more people are going for that latter. They're like, I don't have time. There's too many games. Just tell me.
Now that is the most important thing. Not that it's stupid. It's if this game is not to par, if this game is not working, if this game doesn't know what it is, and this game does, there's way, way more games than time. So why would I pick a game that might be stupid when this game that someone didn't say is stupid is better than that game? So obviously they're going to go play the game that's not stupid compared to a game that is stupid because your time is valuable. Hence why these developers shouldn't make a game to try to pitch it to a streamer to see if they get it. They should just make a game. Make the game that you want to make and then sell that game.
Tell me whether I should buy it. Tell me if it's for me. So they find someone they just like, and then that person's opinion becomes their opinion. This has a positive side. It's easy to find someone who sides with your preferences.
Of course it is. Of course it is. People want their opinion to have the same as other people, to see like they're like-minded. Hence why when you go into a room of people, and this is this chat is very diverse compared to other chats, right? If you go to a chat room that's only about PlayStation, they're only in the PlayStation bubble. That's what the PlayStation bubble is, right? You try to get an Xbox in there, you get shunned out. Same with Xbox. If you're in an Xbox chat, that's what it is. You get shunned out, right? Nintendo, you get shunned out. This is why I say don't trash night for consoles, right? We talk about everything here. We talk about all different types of stuff. Okay, I don't care if it's stocks, movies, video games, whatever it is. We try to just do a broad range of stuff because we like talking about that type of stuff. But if you're in an echo chamber, of course you're going to look for an echo chamber because you want your thing to feel like it's worth it. Well, I like it. Well, they like it, so I'm going to buy it. You're looking for acceptance. You're looking for someone else to agree with you so you can have any doubt in your mind. You're like, do I like this game? Well, let me go see if other people, he likes the game. Well, I like the game, so I'm going to buy the game.
And therefore is a good guide for you finding new games. And I've talked about that. That's how I look for game reviewers myself. I look at their reviews for games I already know.
Hence, if you go to Steam, you play this survival game, recommendation, here's other survival games you might like. I'm not looking for anybody else's opinion on those things. I go, okay, I like this game. Maybe I like this game as well.
They liked the ones I liked and didn't like the ones I didn't like. Then I will trust them going forward on reviews of games that I haven't played yet. But the negative to this is more and more people seem to be abdicating their own judgment to that of people they see online.
I disagree. I think the reason that you think more people are doing that is because if you're watching a game, for instance, Co Carnage. I love watching Co, okay? Co gives his opinions about video games. He doesn't give reviews. He's like, these are my thoughts on this video game, right? And sometimes I agree with them and sometimes I don't. Maybe he likes a survival game and I look at the survival game and go, nah, I'm good, okay? Other times he's like an action-adventure game and I'm like, oh, I like that game. He's like, I don't really like that game, right? But I like most of the stuff that he talks about, okay? Obviously, I'm not going to agree with him all the time, but if I'm in an echo chamber, regardless of what channel you're watching or whatever it is, there's an echo chamber because that person is biased or not biased towards that thing. Okay? I think more people, because it's the internet and you can see other people's opinions real easy now, you automatically assume it's happening more. No, it's happening the exact same, right? Look at stuff when we were younger, before the internet. You never heard about the news about bad things happening in your local area unless you talk to people locally and be like, oh, did you hear about what happened to Sarah the other day? No, I didn't hear what happened to Sarah. It wasn't spread everywhere. But now because of social media, not only do people hear about your local stuff, but they hear about your regional stuff and they hear about the world stuff. So it sounds like, wow, the world's much worse now than it was before. No, it's the same. It's the exact same. The only difference is now you're being bombarded with all of these people's opinions. Before, it used to be a small group. So if I had 5 friends and we all played a video game, one person liked that video game, the other 4 people were like, hey, is this a good game? And then it kind of spreads. But now one person can play it and type something, and It's not 5 people anymore. It's 500. It's 5,000. It's 5 million. Right? And you're just finding those people that you agree with or disagree with much faster, instantaneously.
It's like, I haven't played yet. But the negative to this is more and more people seem to be abdicating their own judgment to that of people they see online. It's like, I don't want to think about it. You tell me what I should think about it.
I disagree. Do you guys agree with that? Do you think there's more people just going, well, just going to, right? If anything, I feel like the more of it is coming from the devs. I made this thing, you should like it, right? It's coming from corporations that pick up an IP and like, well, we have the IP of Lord of the Rings. Obviously, it's going to sell. We have Star Wars. It's going to sell. And then it doesn't sell. And they're like, well, you guys, they didn't like it. Why didn't they like it? Right? I think it's the exact same. I don't think a lot of people out there are like, yeah, I'm buying it just because Tim said it was good. I think people look at it and go, all right, Tim likes it. Let me take a little bit of a glimpse of the gameplay. Okay, the gameplay looks good. All right, let me go to the next step. All right, do I have time for this? Do I want to buy it? How much is it? Not sure if I agree. Tell me what I should post. Yeah, let me tell you. Let's see what you guys say real fast. Jesse says, the same opinion when they make a group as you, noting that different from their opinions. Aku says you're looking at the delusion acceptance instead of reality. Ray says, I play on my phone. Mistakes are unforgiven. Well, it says, okay. Eclipse says, love Co, but there's a lot of stuff I disagree with him on that. And it's okay. Exactly. I'm not blind. Well, Co likes it, so I'm going to buy it because Co likes it. Right? Co does this for a living. You don't play games for a living. You play games because you want to know what's worth your time.
And I see that sometimes on this channel when I get multiple nearly identical comments from people, and I realize they're just quoting.
Sometimes those are bots. Sometimes those are bots. You might have to look it up sometimes when you're doing this on the internet to look up to see if bots are on your channel.
An online influencer. Sometimes it's a meme, but more often it's, oh, this influencer person said this thing about this, and now they're just quoting without any attribution.
Well, if you know for a fact that someone in your channel, because let's say you watch a video of an influencer saying something about your game, and then someone in your channel says the exact quote that person, then you wouldn't take them seriously, right? You wouldn't take them seriously because you know that they're just parroting what they heard because you watched that video. Do you know what I mean? So you as a human would go, oh, I'm just going to push that to the side because that person's literally just parroting what that person said exactly to the T. Travis says, 30, I mean, these guys always do this. Oh, well, you just have to herd mentality because what they also want to have, we also dumb to choose in their minds. Ray says, I don't like Nintendo, but I love the Fire Emblem community. Sarge says, I'm not using someone else's opinion as my own. I watch someone who plays and understands the same type of game that I play. I value their opinion, not substitute their opinion for my own. Right. And I would assume, I know assuming makes an ass out of you and me, but I would assume most people do exactly what Sarge just said. You're like, okay, I'm interested in this game. Let me go find someone that's also that likes this game. And then that person, if they're just telling you their opinion, tell you the goods and the bad about that game, like ACG does, right? And you're like, okay, I respect ACG for doing what he's doing. I like the game. So if my opinion is I like the game and he says it's okay, that verifies it in my brain that, okay, let me take the next step, right? If he says it's okay, again, I say this all the time, like what you like. If you like a game that's a shitty game, it's okay to like shitty games because you like that game, so it's not shitty for you. Just don't defend it when everyone else tells you it's shitty and it doesn't sell well, right? You're allowed to like it. You're allowed to play it. You're allowed to enjoy what you enjoy, right? We just ask you not to, if the majority doesn't like something and the minority does, well, sales-wise and stuff, it's a failure. So we say it's a failure and it doesn't have a thing. And it is a failure, okay, because it didn't make the money or whatever. You can like it still. Doesn't change. Same as the opposite way. If the majority hates something, okay, and then a few like it, and they're like, well, this is a great game, it works the exact same way. It might be that you like it, but it's also not successful because the majority of the people don't like it, or the majority of people, you know what I'm saying? Jack says, I like Avowed. Skilled Up hated it. Even if one hates it, you can make it up your own mind, right? I liked Avowed. I thought the story was a little slow for the God character. Talked like a, what are you doing here? It's like, holy Christ. Like, that was bad, but the game Avowed was good. But I won't defend it because I know it didn't sell well. I enjoyed it. Travis says Avowed was decent. Interested to see what they do for a sequel. Jesse Max says they judgment on the same studios who made the best games back then, and the judgment about theirs because they got the same company that makes a good game. Sarge says, but that's not what Tim is saying. He's saying we are monkeys. We don't think for ourselves. We just use streamers' opinions. Tim is a loon and forgets 90% of the games come out broke. Ray says, I disliked Avowed storytelling and characters. Yeah, I thought the gameplay was fine. Obviously, do I know there's problems there where the cities felt desolate? They didn't feel like it was alive? Yeah. Does Crimson Desert do a better job? Yeah. So I played Avowed like a shooter, and they had a great time. I did the exact same thing. I had the weapons that did super damage. I found it early on in the game. Justin Up says, I think most people are substituting their opinions. You think more people are substituting? You think more people are just accepting for what it is? So if I say this game is good, everyone just, he says it's good, I'm going to buy it. I don't know. I think visually you could watch it for yourself. So if someone says this game is good and you watch someone play the game and you think it's good, I don't think that's taking their opinion. You're still ingesting it through your eyes and seeing if you like it or not. El Dente says, I like playing Avowed, but the story is trash. 100% agree with that. Because he says, I think Tim is choking. You better help him. Yeah, he's reaching for it. He's like, yeah.
In a comment. Sometimes even when it doesn't apply, which just makes me go, are they understanding why the person said that? But other reactions I see happening in the industry because of this trend is designers have become really obsessed with labeling their game. It's not enough to say I have an RPG. Is it an action RPG? Does it have an open world? Is this going to be controversial if I talk about this topic? They really want to know what the labels are.
Make a game, sell a game, Tim. Make a game, sell a game, Tim. If you're making a game to have the approval of everybody else that wants your game, okay, it is what it is. Here's the thing. What was that game that came out? Dustborn, right? Whatever Dustborn was supposed to be, right? You have to agree that they did what they wanted to do, regardless if it was a to put out there to call us sexist, racist, or misogynistic, right? They made a game they wanted to make. It didn't sell, but they probably knew that going in, right? They probably knew that going in it wasn't going to sell, but at least they made the game that they wanted to make. They didn't ask for apology, but the problem with that is they make a game and then tell you you're the problem with the game. Look, make the game that you want to make. If you want to go make a trash garbage man simulator game, okay, and then nobody buys your trash garbage simulator game, that's what you chose to do. You chose to make a garbage simulator game, and no one bought it. So if you spent $300 million making a garbage game, and it goes in the actual trash, that's you. At least you stuck by what you wanted. You're like, yeah, I'm going to make this game regardless of what it is. Right? You know what I mean? At least these people that make a game are like, yeah, I made the game I wanted to make. It didn't sell well. We'll get them next time. But they didn't sell 300 million. AAA game studios are making the thing, and because they make it, you have to buy it. Remember that. You have to buy it because they made it. We made the game, so you have to buy it. Not, hey, we made this great game. It is a good game, and would you please give it a chance and make it? No. If it doesn't sell, you're the problem. Yeah, that's right. We are the problem. And we're also the solution.
Their games. And so do you guys. You guys ask these questions. Does it have this content? You know, is it hub and spoke version of a game? As if I can't think of a game that I hated because it was open world versus hub and spoke.
We talk about the bar all the time. If I'm a game developer, let's take a real basic game, TCG Card Simulator, right? If you're making a TCG Card Simulator game, okay, TCG Card on PC with the Unity engine, that is the bar, right? People had fun with that, sold very well, okay? So you're like, you know what? I'm going to make a game just like that game. You better make your game at least a par, okay? Otherwise, don't make it. If you're coming out with the game and going, well, we're competing with that game, not all the other games, you're competing with that game because the people that like that game, it's going to get recommended to them by the algorithm. And they'll be like, well, if you like this game, you'll like that game. And then you buy that game and you're like, well, this is a piece of shit, right? That's what you have to do. You have to have your game. If you're a game developer, you're not making a game for the gamers. You're making a game for yourself. But if you're going to make the same type of game as the other games, you better have the same type of stuff that this game did well with. If you're well below that game, don't bother releasing it. It's not going to sell because it's below par. Not because we hate it. It's like, well, we played a better game. We don't need to play your game. There's way too many games to play. So if your game doesn't hit the par of this game, then don't even bother launching it.
I love both of them, and a well-made game can be done in both of them. But this is what a lot of designers think about now when they're putting a game together. They also wonder how influencers will react. If there's an influencer who...
Why would you make it for one influencer?
Really likes a lot of the previous games made by you or made at the company you made, you may be putting in a feature and think, is he going to like this?
Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you make a game for one influencer and go, well, if he likes it, it could really work? You make it for the player. You make it for yourself. You make a game.
Is she going to comment about this nicely? It's probably not a healthy way of designing a game, but I've seen people talk about it.
Yeah, but even if the influencer has super influence and everyone buys that game because of that influencer, the game will stand on its own after they purchase it. You don't understand what I'm saying? If Asmongold comes out and says, I endorse this game because he truly likes the game, and then everyone buys that game, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, because if the game is bad, but he likes it, then everyone will hate the game because he said it was good and it was shit. No influencer wants to take that responsibility. No influencer wants to say that take that responsibility on.
About it. It's gone from how should I make this instead of how do I want to make this. And
wait a minute.
It's gone from how...
What makes no sense, Craig? What I'm saying or what Tim is saying? Right? The game will be self-explanatory once you play the game. If someone says a game is good and you play that game and you're like, yeah, this game is terrible, you'll never trust that influencer again. No influencer is going to tell you that unless they're paid, right? Unless they're paid, which then they're a shill. To make a game for an influencer, that's crazy. For one influencer? Yeah, hell, if even it's 10 influencers.
How should I make this instead of how do I want to make this? And
that's a developer thing.
I don't think that's a good way to make games. I'm not doing this, but many people, gamers and developers alike, they want me to. They want me to. When they say, Tim, you got to listen to us. You and the other devs aren't listening to me. That's not you telling me to make the game I want to make.
That's right. Make the game that you want to make. But don't hate on us when we don't play your game if your game's not good. It's pretty self-explanatory.
That's you telling me to make the game you want to make. And that got to a head when I talked about Fallout and whether it's about capitalism. And everybody told me I'm wrong, that it is about capitalism. I'm like, okay, this game is...
El Dente says that's probably how Battlefield 6 saw RedSec. They made it for the influencers, and this is the only people that played it. That's perfect example. Perfect example, El Dente. They literally brought in people, and we actually had a conversation about this when they were leading up to Battlefield 6 before they brought it out. They brought in all the Call of Duty guys and all the Battle Royale guys to play Battlefield 6, and look what Battlefield 6 turned into. This is a perfect example, right? Cinema, right? Perfect example is that they cater to the influencers. They cater to a group of people that had no business playing Battlefield 6. And look at it. Battlefield 6 did very well. It was the #1 selling game last year. Look at it now. Hollow, husk of a game. Nobody gives a shit about it. And now you've burned more bridges because you didn't make the game for the people that liked Battlefield in the past. You made Battlefield for a group of people that never played Battlefield. And now nobody wants to play Battlefield.
It's not what I intended, but you guys want it to be what you want it to be. So it's weird when you then turn around and say, well, go ahead and do what you want. But it's not. It better be what we want.
Craig says, you watch Asmongold play the game. There's no way a bad game can be endorsed by him. No, you're missing the point, Craig. What I'm saying is a developer would not make a game for one influencer because that influencer would have to put everything on their shoulders then to tell you if it's good or bad. And if it's a bad game, okay, because Asmongold plays fun games on there just to shit talk him or whatnot, okay, and then other times he plays good games, right? But to make a game for one influencer, and if that influencer says it's a good game, but then everyone starts to play it and says this is a bad game, that's like suicide for that influencer. I'm using Asmongold because he's so large, okay? But any influencer to be like, oh yeah, like influencers get shit on if they take a paid advertisement by a mobile game.
I'm curious now because it's 2026 and I have no idea what the 2030s are going to be like. I'm concerned it will go one of two ways because the pendulum always swings. Either things are going to become even more tightly controlled in bubbles, which means people will stick to this one influencer or this tiny group of influencers and all of their thoughts will be guided by these people. Or maybe the next generation is going to get tired of that. Get tired of all the labeling and tired of all the placing things in a box. I've defined a box and this game is in this box.
Ray says Asmongold said South of Midnight was a good game, but did they make South of Midnight for Asmongold? Do you see what I'm saying? He's saying they're making it for influencers. They didn't make that game for him. They didn't make that game for him.
And I'm not going to view it any other way. I'm curious. I'm curious where that goes. The internet basically allows the pendulum like that to swing really far and really fast. So I don't know where the 2030s are going to go, but that's what's happened with game design and online influencers and social media over about the last 45 years.
I think this is interesting because he came out with a video, and this video is like a couple days old, right? This video is 5 days old. Destin came out with a video yesterday talking about influencers. He's coming out with a game we call Influencers, right? I find it really interesting that all of a sudden, it's like coming out, it's like they've all woken up and they're like talking about stuff like this, which has been around, right?
Anyway, Padoni Rosso, that was a good question. I hope you liked my answer.
Well, there you go. Tim's got the greatest facial expressions. Let me tell you. He's got the greatest facial expressions. Tim Cain's videos down below. Give it a like. Give it a sub if you like to go watch some of his other content. He is a game developer who's been in the gaming industry for decades. So it is interesting listening to his perspective on stuff, even if we disagree or agree with him. Travis says, from what I understand, South of Midnight is a good game. I just hate the art style. I had fun with the game for the parts of it for exploration. Terrible for the combat, besides the boss fights. The combat in the game is like, oh, go over here until you get to these little section of where there's a battle. No, I'm good. Craig says, by 2030, AI will remake custom games for people. I'm making Mines of Moria clone using Claude. Ray says, a good game means nothing if the main character isn't Caucasian. Look at Soros. People are attacking it. It's calling it woke. I don't know what's going on with that game. I don't know if it's woke, but I don't think people like playing the protagonist because I saw the story about, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to ruin it for people. But based on the main character, it's like he's a shit character, right? And a lot of people don't like main characters being that way when they play it. El Dente says the big corporate machine that controls all of it said talk shit on the influencers. Yeah, it's kind of weird right now that it's happening, right? It's like a organized push towards against influencers. Isn't it weird? El Dente says, I love the South of Midnight for the story and the notes. Yeah. You can John Walker them. You can John Walker the bosses. You know. Clip says the combat is horrible. Everything else is like 8 out of 10, but the combat makes you go down like 5 because it's so bad, right? It's like they added the combat to that game after the fact. They're like, how do we make this game? Like it could have just been a platformer. It didn't have to have any. It didn't have to have any combat whatsoever, right? But they added it. It felt like an afterthought. There's actually another. Hold on a second. There was another video I saw. It popped up in my stream or my feed yesterday. What is his name? I wonder if it's in my history because it popped up. It was there for a second. Where is it? That was Monday. It was yesterday. He's a Sea of Thieves content creator. Oh, God, what is his name? Holt something? What is his name? He used to make a lot of Sea of Thieves content. I can't think of his name right now. I'm trying to look it up. Let's see here. It's not going to pop up because it wasn't in. It didn't. I didn't click on it. It was just playing. You know how YouTube just plays in the background? Who cares? Well, I care because it has everything to do with what we're talking about right now. What's his name? His name is... Let me see. If I type in Sea of Thieves. Found him. Boom. There he is. Okay. He has a video.
Gaming is
okay. We're gonna watch this. I'm gonna add him to the list because I saw this pop up on my stream yesterday or on my feed. So let me add him to the actual list. Okay, his name is Hitbo TC. Okay, Hitbo. I know him from a Sea of Thieves content creator. I don't know why he popped up in my thing, but he has a video called "Did This Ruin Games?" Right, and this is a game rant by him. So we're gonna watch this. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You see what I'm talking about? Like this is kind of weird, right? So Destin had a video about influencers. Tim had a video about influencers, and now Hitbo has a video about influencers. Interesting. All right, let's watch this.
gaming isn't dying. We're killing it. And honestly, I think content creators like me are part of the reason why.
This is interesting. Okay, I've actually said this, right? We've destroyed gaming because of how they push it through, right? You try to beat the game as fast as possible, and then it kind of ruins it for everybody else because everybody else is not playing the game. They're just looking up stuff.
Every time a new game comes out, we race to make the videos called best settings, best weapon. We got best starter guides. Do this first. And before players even launch this game, we've already told them how to play it. We don't explore games anymore. We solve them. And I think we've optimized the fun out of gaming.
I agree with that. Hence why I've always said, don't look up stuff. Like when I like a game, I don't look up anything. I just want to play the game. Hence why I've enjoyed Crimson Desert so much.
Because somewhere along the line, gaming stopped being about discovery and started being about optimization, about the meta. And I miss when games felt more like an adventure, not...
Well, that's because most people that are on YouTube start to taste that money. So they have to constantly make more content on that to get the views. Oh, my last video got 1,000 views. This video got 1,200 views. Then it got 1,500 views. Then it got 10,000 views. And they're running for that thing. They're like, well, they like it, so they listen to their audience. Their audience liked that video, so they make more content of that video.
Freaking homework. I hate homework. I'm done with homework. Maybe I'm just getting old, but gaming.
There it is. There it is, chat. He was probably much younger when he started YouTube to do all these things. And now he's probably mid-30s. I don't know. And all of a sudden his tastes changed. Sort of like Destin, right?
Used to feel different. When I was younger, you didn't log on to YouTube before launching a game. You just played it. You explored.
Why is this all of a sudden everyone's making videos about this?
You got lost in it. You made mistakes, and of course, we would always find those weird stuff. But you discovered things on your own, and honestly, that was half the fun. I remember old school Counter-Strike days. We'd load into a match, buy the dumbest guns possible, and somehow try to win the rounds. Not because it was meta, because it was funny. I mean, where would we be without scouts and knives? It was chaos. It made unforgettable moments. But even more than that, I remember the LAN parties, dragging the gosh darn TVs in the same room, running cables everywhere, trying to figure out why someone couldn't connect, everyone yelling across the room. No Discord, no matchmaking, just a bunch of friends in the same space. We were laughing, we were trash talking and figuring it out together. And we'd run Halo 2 lobbies, parties for hours. Sometimes it'd be battlefields. No one cared about the best loadout. No one was looking up guides. We were just messing around.
Yeah, just playing.
We were trying stuff, laughing when things went wrong. And somehow those are the moments that stuck. I remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobbies for bad reasons and good reasons. I remember early Sea of Thieves.
We all know the bad reasons. Come on. That's where you probably learn most of your curse words.
Adventures.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
I think they see you. You're gonna have to go.
Oh, there's one here.
I'm reviving. I'm clenching it.
Nice cannon shot.
Oh, I'm dead in the water. Damn.
My pineapple didn't eat. He missed. I'm dead.
Yeah, he's a really good Sea of Thieves player. When I used to watch him play.
Legendary.
All right, go. It's go for the play. Go for the play.
3, 2,
Go,
1,
go.
go.
Yeah.
It's going. Yes.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. I'm crying. I got tears in my eyes.
Half the memories weren't because we were good. They were because weird things happened. Funny things happened. The unexpected thing.
Yeah, but that's different what he's doing, right? He's having fun with his friends and he's streaming it so other people are entertained by what he's doing. That's completely different content than making the content of, oh, do you want this? This is the best weapon you should get. This is the best thing you get. This is why I like Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves, it wasn't like, here's how you get the best weapon. There's no best weapon, right? It's just play in the sandbox and have fun while you're in Sea of Thieves. Now, obviously, people are better than others because of PC versus console and the controllers and stuff like that. But that game is just pure fun. It's just pure fun to play the game.
Things happen. Gaming used to be about moments. Now it feels like everything has to be efficient. Now,
And that right there, what he's talking about, everything has to be efficient. Same thing what Tim was talking about, and then Al Dente kind of brought it up with Battlefield 6 stuff, right? They're not making Battlefield to have the Battlefield moments, like, naturally. Like, we called it Battlefield moments, right? We had that Battlefield moment. But then Battlefield 6, when Battlefield 2042 came out and they did the marketing for that, they're now marketing to us and telling us it's Battlefield moments. But we gave that nickname. They didn't give that nickname, right? We said Battlefield moments. Now they're using that as a marketing term to hit us over the head with it, to be like, hey, this is what it was, right? They start to use the thing against that we created. And then when it doesn't come out the way they wanted, we're the haters. Well, obviously you didn't make the game for what it was. You tried to market what it should have been. It should have been fun, and it should have had its own moments of Battlefield, but instead you use that term and use that term against us to be like, oh, it has battlefield moments, but really there's no battlefield moments. You orchestrated the battlefield moments instead of just having the battlefield moments.
Now a game releases and within 24 hours, the entire internet goes to work solving it. Here's the best settings that you need, the best routes that you need to take. Here's the best build, the best sensitivity, the best farming strats. If you're not using this gun, you're an idiot. Here's your best perks, best whatever. And before players even finish the tutorial, the right way to play is already decided. And if you're not doing it, people tell you that you're wrong. And I get it. I freaking...
Man, I don't play stuff like that. I don't do it. I don't fall for it. Maybe it's because of my age. I don't know.
Get it. Creators want views. People want help. Players want an advantage. I understand all of that, but I think it kills something very important. I think it's killing discovery, experimentation.
So what are you going to do? You're going to stop making content? Maybe he is. Maybe he's going to stop making content about that.
And wonder. And I know that sounds cheesy, but I'm serious. I think that's why so many games burn out so fast now, because people consume the best way to play instead of finding their way to play. And right now, I'm seeing it happen in Arc Raiders. But it's not just Arc Raiders. It happens in every popular game now. The second a game launches, the cycle starts. Here's the best starter guide, the fastest way to farm this. Here's your best settings. And again, your best extract routes. Suddenly, before players even get a chance to experience the game for themselves, the internet has already decided the right way to play. And Arc Raider just happens to be the newest example. And it sucks to watch. Because
single players have this, Ron. Single players have this. Right now, you can type in Crimson Desert, and there'll be someone telling you where to find that weapon, how to beat the boss, where to go, what's the best strategy. 100% happens in single-player games.
the game has so much potential for stories.
I want to fall to hell.
Then follow me. I'm okay. Are you okay? Did you?
That hurt so bad.
That's what Arc Raiders reminds me a lot of Sea of Thieves, because yes, there's metas and stuff, but people organically playing the game and having these moments is why it's popular. People organically having moments in Minecraft is why it got popular. You know what I mean? You can't design, as Tim said, to get the influencers to do shit. Okay? When a game is fun, people will make it fun and have the reasons to play it.
Yeah, I got you, brother. Don't worry, I'll get you patched back up. Don't you worry. Just hang out.
Not really. Single player games are less prone to it. No, they're not. You can literally go look up Starfield and Crimson Desert and Skyrim and all these other things. They'll tell you exactly where to find the thing, how to beat the boss. What are you guys talking about? It's the exact same.
For a second. For experimentation, for adventure. But the second something gets popular, we try to solve it. And I think that kills the best part. I think that kills the magic. I think that's why creators like Burnt Peanut are blowing up. Because it feels different. It feels refreshing. It feels like old YouTube. The dude just logs in, has fun, makes stupid jokes.
No, the time for talk is over. Now is the time for action.
He's very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Oh, he said it.
He's not constantly screaming. Well, he is constantly screaming, but he's not constantly yelling broken med. Well, he is kind of doing that. He's not yelling insane XP farms or do this now.
Yeah, he's just playing the game. He's playing the game, and he's entertaining you watching him play the game.
He's just playing games, and people are starving for that. I think because deep down, we just miss games being fun. Gamers miss games being fun. I think we miss the laughter. I think gamers miss creators who make them feel like gaming is an adventure, not a job. And that's the crazy part.
This is one of the reasons that on 30 and Still Gaming, I don't try to make content of this is how you play the game. I just play the game. I'm just playing the game. Now, I'm not anywhere near as entertaining as Burnt Peanut when I'm playing a video game. I'm just playing the game because I want to play the game. I don't care what the meta is. I don't care what where this thing is. I'm just playing the game and you're just watching me play the game. And we're having a conversation as we do it, right? Right? People should just play the game. Now, again, play the how you want to play. If you want to know the best weapon and the best meta and all this other stuff, by all means do it, right? But don't bitch about it that your game got ruined because you watched the videos. You know what I'm saying?
Games aren't bad for us. In fact, research has shown, we've all heard this, that gaming can improve things like reaction time, problem solving, and even help reduce stress. Games help people connect. They help build.
But that's exactly it, El Dente. El Dente says it's crazy how you play Crimson Desert and I play Crimson Desert very different. Yeah, because I'm playing the game for me. I'm not playing the game, right? I'm the worst YouTuber when it comes to making content, right? I try to do what they tell me to do as far as breakout videos of stuff, but I see nothing changes, right? My morning show and the live streams do better than my uploads. But YouTube keeps telling me you should do uploads. You should do shorts. I don't want to do shorts. I don't want to do uploads. I just want to do my live show here, and I just want to play fucking video games over there. If it works, it works. I'm not trying to do the meta of the stuff, right? Because gaming to me is my zen, is that moment of time where I sit down and play video games, and I'm just playing video games to play video games for myself, play video games with Sarge on Wednesdays so I can hang out with my brother and play, right? And we just happen to be live while we're playing video games. I'm not trying to do the thing, right? Where, well, if you guys tip $15, I'm gonna jump off this thing. None of that shit. If you want to go that, there's plenty of content creators that do that, and this is why my channel doesn't blow up and stuff, because that's not how I want to play a video game. I want to play a video game the way I want to play a video game, not the way people want me to play a video game, or not the way other people show me how to play the video game.
Friendships, create communities. I mean, look at my life. My career exists because of gaming. My friendships exist because of gaming. This community exists because of gaming. Games aren't the problem. The problem is
that's 100% how it's always been. It comes and goes just enough. Has YouTube meta changed on having an upload channel and a separate live stream channel? Yes and no. Right? Some people start a whole new channel about uploads if you change things. I think it's stupid, right? I look at YouTube, and it's turning more into this. I look at YouTube as CBS, NBC, ABC, right? Like the old television networks, right? Imagine if CBS back in the day only did comedies and they couldn't do dramas or they couldn't do news. No, they did everything. You knew to turn the TV on from 8 o'clock at night to watch comedies and sitcoms. You knew at 11 o'clock was the news. You knew in the morning right? You know what it is. YouTube should be treated that way, but that's not how YouTube is treated. YouTube is treated where you got to have, if I do a topic of, talk about this one video game, I have to make a whole dedicated channel of this video game. And then I have to make a whole dedicated channel of gaming. And then I have to make a whole dedicated channel of just talking news. Fuck that. That's stupid. Right? I hate it. But that's exactly why my channel doesn't grow. And it grows, it goes like this. I get 5 subs, I lose 4. I get 6, I lose 2. Right? I hate that. My channel is 30 NSG. And everything that I do is on this channel. So if you want to come for a morning show in the morning, great. If you want to come to the podcast on Thursdays, great. If you want to watch that other podcast I used to do on Wednesday nights chatting with, great. Right? I don't want to make a separate channel for this, a separate channel for that, a separate channel for this. Then I got to grow 5 fucking channels. It's stupid.
we stop treating games like games and start treating them like jobs. And let me be honest, I'm a part of the problem. The second a new game drops, I start thinking content-wise, what video can I make? What guide can I make? What title will perform? What strategy should I teach? And before I know it, I'm contributing to the exact thing.
Right. Exactly. Jesse Mack says, 30, you're not bending the knee to the corporation, what they tell you to do, like out of you. That's what I like about from you. I mean, it's just what it is. I don't recommend it. I'll be honest with you. If you want to grow your channel, don't do anything I'm doing. Do the opposite of what I'm doing.
I'm complaining about in this video. I've done it in Sea of Thieves. I've done it in Star Citizen. I'm not doing it in Arc Raiders. I've made no Arc Raiders guides.
That's a good step. It's a good step. Like I said, he's a really good content creator when it comes to Sea of Thieves and stuff like that, right? I haven't really watched him much for Arc Raiders. It'd be nice that by the end of this video, if he says, I'm not doing that, like he just said, I haven't made any of that videos for Arc Raiders. That's a good step, right? Being self-aware of what you're doing and then changing it, that's respect. I respect that.
Because honestly, I don't want to ruin the magic. I want to experience it. I want to tell stories again. I want to laugh again. I want to discover again, because deep down, I'm a gamer.
Is that your... Oh, I think you're both under attack.
Oh, sorry. I love you. I gotta go. Oh,
Whoa!
no!
Mr. Blaine! That is your bow, bro! Yo! Master!
got it!
Oh, no, my son!
Monster! You suck!
I love you, Blaine! Oh, shenanigans are back on the menu, baby!
I'm not a content creator first, I'm a gamer first. Competitive gaming isn't bad. Esports isn't bad. Ranked isn't bad. The problem is the mindset has leaked in every corner of gaming. Now, every lobby is sweaty. Every player is optimized. Every game has a meta. Every casual...
Right. People buying mouses, pro monitors, pro keyboards, pro headset, right? All that stuff.
mode feels ranked. Every mechanic is solved instantly, and suddenly games feel exhausting. Maybe games didn't get worse. Maybe we just forgot how to play. Maybe we forgot how to explore, how to experiment, how to fail, how to laugh, how to make memories. Because when I look back at the games I've loved the most, my favorite memories weren't because I was winning. They were because I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe.
Well, that's that ship.
Damn it! Okay, dude, just drop him. Just drop him. We're gonna pass it. Don't dock.
Okay.
Don't dock.
I'm not.
Okay, drop him. Drop him. Oh! Drop him quick!
They're dead. This is gonna be good.
Get off!
This is gonna be good.
Yes!
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Get wrecked! Oh my god!
They were because something crazy happened.
I was not gonna make it! Ah!
They were because of moments I never could have planned.
What happens if I go through this door?
Oh, you'll be fine. What game is this? Is this Repo?
Ah! Oh no, not fine. That was not fine. That was not okay. That was not okay.
And I think if gaming wants to feel magical again, we need less optimization and more adventure. Honestly, I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop
I
them
agree,
in the
but you're
comments
not
below.
gonna
I'd love to
change
read
it.
them. I've been thinking a lot about this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Link in the description down below for Hippo TC. Yeah, easier said than done. Right? Easier said than done as far as enjoying a video game. I mean, I said it in the past. If you don't look up certain things, just play the game. I do feel that Crimson Desert has like woken up a lot of people to like playing the game and like not looking up stuff. But obviously the algorithm, there's plenty of, I mean, it pops up on my stream all the time. I haven't looked up anything. The only thing I've seen is off of Twitter when someone finds a secret room or shows flying on a dragon or their mech and stuff. It's just through my feed. But I haven't looked up anything. I've extremely enjoyed Crimson Desert more than other games in the past because I didn't look it up, right? I didn't look up anything. I'm just playing the game and absolutely loving every second. Now, is that for everybody? No. If you want to optimize because you work 60 hours a week and you want to play a game, you're like, you know what? I don't want to put all this time in and try to figure out what it is because you don't have the time. You're like, what's the best weapon? I want to beat this game. So you look up the thing and then you have something to strive towards to do. It's going to be a hard thing to break. But I find it weird that a lot of people are making these videos now all of a sudden. It's kind of weird. Without esports, I would not be able to watch good fighting or fighting games because I'm not good at them. But I love watching pros play it. Yeah, I like watching it as a show. Like, I like watching Burnt Peanut to be entertained, right? I don't watch a lot of people to tell you what the best thing is. We have in the past. El Dente says, also, I don't know if anyone talked about this, but Mall Show, Lord and Daredevils have 10 out of 10 endings. All right, well, let me ask you this, El Dente. Is the series for both Daredevil, I haven't watched season 1 or season 2, is the season ended up like The Walking Dead? And what I mean by that is like The Walking Dead started where nothing happens until the last like 10 minutes. And then it's like a cliffhanger to get you to go to the next thing. And then nothing happens until the last 10 minutes. And then it keeps on going to just keep you, right? Is Daredevil, is there substance there? Or is it the last 10 minutes to hook you to the next show? To the next show, which is the finale, which is the next season. Same with Maul. Kraken says, this is what made Elden Ring so magical when they first came out. The exploration, mystery, and unmatched at the time. Agreed. That's why I jumped in. Sarge says, because they hit the gamer wall, bro. El Dente says, Daredevil is substance all the way through.
This is why I like a lot of games people say is bad. I just played Starfield. I wasn't powerful weapon over here. I explored and found everything.
I think that's one of the reasons. Thank you much for the $5 super chat there, Aku. Right? That's probably one of the reasons, right, that I enjoyed Starfield as much as I did. Because I had like 200 something hours in that game. Never looked up anything, right? I'm not going to defend it and be like, oh, it's an amazing game, because there are problems with it. Like, the main story is garbage. But the side quest of that and the way I did it, where I would dabble in the main story, dabble, in the side quests and do all the stuff, I had a blast playing that game. Is it a 9 out of 10? No, but I enjoyed it. I didn't go for the best build. I found a weapon. We found that one weapon once there's a mission you go on. You find like a derelict ship. You go into the vault and you grab this weapon and then you use that weapon. That's like one of the most powerful weapons in the game, right? I didn't know where it was or how it was there. I found it. I was like, oh, cool, right? Like, that's what I love. That's why I just like playing video games. I don't want people to tell me how to play a video game. As much as I hate the meta, it is undefeated. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard to break that. And I think you break it by just, you get older and you're just like, I'm tired of, you know what I mean? You just get tired of it. You just change your ways type of thing. El Dente says, Maul's a slower build up to the final 2 episodes. I have the article. Right? This is the article, I think it is. You're talking about this article, right? We'll talk about this, Travis. Right? This is from, now he's got 2 articles, right? He's got 2 articles for this particular thing here. Right? So the guy's name is Joshua Wolins. Okay? He's got an article where he talks about what color car should James Bond never drive. But this article here is from May 1st, And the other article is from May 5th, which was yesterday, right? Yeah, May 5th, right? Which I find he's got a lot to talk about 007. So I don't know if he's going after it, but I watched Luke Stevens talk about this article, and I kind of lost interest in what he was talking about. So we'll read this article. This is a gentleman from PC Gamer that sounds like he just hates James Bond. Now, my question is, then why cover James Bond? Why do you need this article to exist? Now, again, this might be an opinion piece or whatnot, but we're going to cover it. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay? It says, hear me out. All right? Hear me out. Let's get these article advertisements off the screen there. Okay, it says, hear me out. What if James Bond just shouldn't be in video games? What does that mean? What does that mean? What's going on, Dolphin? Double not you. Okay? He says, I played a good few hours of 007 First Light last week, and I encourage you to click that link and read all about what I thought of him. Okay? But my time with Jim Bond. Jim Bond? Bro, really? Okay. Sparked our other thoughts. Thoughts that probably don't belong in a preview. Thoughts like, what if James Bond just shouldn't be in video game protagonist? He says, I know what you're thinking. And first of all, I'd like you to stop calling me those names. Second, yes, GoldenEye for the N64 is a classic. You're also not really James Bond in it. Your hand with the pistol, and sometimes in the cutscenes. Pierce Brosnan's face, the character of Bond, exists as lore reason for your gun to emit bullets. But the games they try to make you feel like James Bond, they put you in the actual shoes to attempt to embody him as a character, they fall down. I see where he's going. Admittedly, a lot of them are simply not very good video games. But also, I think this very nature of Bond is that they're the creature of the cinema. He just doesn't quite fit into games. Part of this is, well, he's annoying. Is he annoying? Bond's annoying? In what movie was Bond annoying? Okay. This might scan differently to non-Brits or indeed to anyone who doesn't share my particular brand of class psychosis. But James Bond is an insufferable public school dickhead. I feel like he's taking this very personal about James Bond. Like I feel like he is the antithesis of the opposite of James Bond. Like he probably got picked on in school by a guy who's more like James Bond, that he associates it with him, and that's why he doesn't really like him. He's in rowing club, Troy boy, through and through, and he comports himself like a man who has the right to the earth and everybody on it. I mean, when you are a deadly weapon and you are in the elite government job, do you know what I mean? Like when you're trained to be the guy that James Bond is portrayed in the books and video games, you are one of, well, now it's a little hard because now we've seen like Jason Bourne, John Wick, but you're one of very few people on the planet that are as badass as James Bond, right? It says, which is quite fun for the 90 to 120 minutes of a movie where he's surrounded by numerous other people that could also roll their eyes at him whenever he opens his mouth. In a video game, though, 10, 20, 30, 40 hours, less, so especially less so is something like a First Light, where a lot of the cocky one-liners are generally swagger or delivered to empty rooms and empty corpses. There's no one saves the player can tell him to give it a damn rest. But the video game is more of what the Bonds are. Like all the Bonds in the past. The cheesy one-liners, the tech, the stuff that's happening, you know what I'm saying, is all part of the thing. If you are a fan of James Bond, which obviously he is not, this is more for that. Sort of like when you played the RoboCop game, it's more RoboCop. Like RoboCop's a fun movie to watch. It's also a fun game to play because you're blowing up shit. You got the one-liners. You're like, that's the thing he said from the movie, right? Same with other brands. Hogwarts Legacy, even Even when they mention something, you're like, oh, that's the guy from the movie. Oh, that's the guy from the, right? That's the place of the, like, you're living that moment. It's more of the thing that you like.
Been lurking a lot recently, but appreciate the Steam's mic. Here's to a Friday stream.
Thank you very much. And that does hit the Friday stream. Thank you very much. So we will have a stream on Friday, extra stream for you guys. Probably around 11 this week instead of 10. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support. And lurk away. A lot of you guys lurk. A lot of you guys watch the show afterwards, and I appreciate all the stuff. I do appreciate that. It says, but also his charisma, his arrogance. It's a suave, unflappable. Well, great, good for him. I'm not suave, and I flap in the slightest inconvenience. I simply don't fit into him. Should probably reword that. Whenever I, as Bond, fumble to counter, miss shot, or try to duck into cover, only to flinch myself headfirst into the desk lamp. I break the entire spell of the character. So, I don't know how this... He's British. I don't know how this is coming across. I'll be honest with you. I would have to hear this guy say this instead of just reading it. It's like a text. And when people get my texts, they think I'm angry or mad or whatever. But I have a dry sense of humor. His humor that he's doing right now, I can't tell if he's being British humor or if he's serious about what he's doing. Maybe they're the one and the same. Okay. It says, I'm not singling out the First Light for this. It's just Bond game. I played most recently, and if anything does a good job of realizing him as a character, it's just that. Again, maybe that character should not be a video game character. I don't understand his problem with the video game character, because there's other characters like this in video games, not just Bond. He says, one moment in particular in my time with the First Light made me think this is 007 is doing righteous battle within the villain. Normal thing for 007 to do. During the fight, he grabs a teacup from the sideboard and drives it hard into the opponent's face. Okay? At that point, he says something which I did not write down because I was in the middle of fighting a guy, so my recollections may be fuzzy. But I believe James Bond 007 on his majestic Secret Service said something along the lines of, time for tea. Yeah? Yeah, it's cheesy. It's exactly what he probably would say, right? Because you are a James Bond fan, not him, but you, the viewer, that's playing James Bond, who would play a James Bond game? People that like James Bond. Who is James Bond? James Bond is a person that is a debonair, likes shaken, not stirred, likes hot women, fast cars, guns, and says cheesy lines when he does something. That's what you know James Bond as. So now that I'm playing as James Bond, that fantasy is more, that's what he would do, because that's what you know that he would do, because that's what he did in all the movies, right? Okay. It says the man who will say a time for tea is something close to it upon assaulting some sort of international terrorist with a cup, the kind of person whose head you want to spend 40 hours in, he's not. But turning him into a man who doesn't say that would make him not Bond. That's it. That's the story. Okay. I think he just doesn't really like Bond. I think he's mad that because he's not a suave type of Brit, that he's mad about the Brit who is suave, which is kind of strange. Okay. Now, he has another article here. Same guy. Haven't read this one either. It says, what color car would James Bond never drive? I.O. had to have multiple meetings just to figure it out for 007's First Light, while huge plot decisions went down easy. Okay. It says, I'm a little nervous about 007, which is what I've seen, seems to play everything in a bit safe and linear to really leverage I.O.'s strengths as a studio. When I played First Light, I found myself asking it perhaps that the Bond license holder of Amazon were a bit precious about their character. Maybe I.O. simply couldn't get as wacky with someone else's intellectual property as it can with Agent 47. Well, no, because you have to... The lore is already set. Agent 47 is their own thing. They can do whatever they want with it. They own the rights to that. James Bond is a particular person that if you're going to make James Bond, you can't make it a slapstick comedy, right? You have to follow James Bond close to what James Bond is. Hence why people get upset when you take an IP brand and then do something and then change the main character or change the lore. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Doctor Who, right? All of these things. Don't you fucking change 007. Okay? But he says, I guess as wide as the mark, because if I asked 007 First Light franchise art director about what it was like to work with someone else's license, he said it was actually surprisingly easy to nail down the big stuff like making 007 young. Okay? He says the useful take has been a go from day one. He says, I think of putting out the effort of the honor into doing our homework because it takes extremely seriously, and the conversation gets easier when you have the foundation like that. Okay, it says these things that actually demand time to hammer out were issues that you wouldn't dedicate a second thought to. Really weird things get discussed, right? Like what color car would Bond never drive? Like he wouldn't drive a pink Lamborghini, right? He wouldn't drive a yellow fluorescent Ferrari. Okay, so people think one thing, people think another thing, and we go like, well, that's a weird discussion. Well, no, it's not really weird because obviously he wouldn't drive these things because that's not what he's been doing in the past. Okay, discussions like this could eat up days. Really fun, really strange, offshoot, demand 3 meetings, whereas really big tentpole decision like Bond's youth would wrap up in a jiffy. And if wondering the color car Bond would never drive is white, though it depends on what you would see in the flavor of the character, whether or not he leased or not, whether it was also rented locally or not. Would 007 drive a white car from Hertz? What about an Enterprise? This will demand another 5 meetings established and wait for a minute. Didn't he drive a white Lotus in Spy Who Loved Me? Called everyone back in and needed to sort all the things out. Okay, here's the thing. When telling a story, if James Bond was issued a car from the actual government, they wouldn't give him a Hertz rental car. If James Bond was in a chase down, running away from bad guys trying to get out of Dodge, he would jump into any car that he could and drive it because that's what he would do. It doesn't really matter what car he's doing for that mission or what that, because it's all about context. But if he's pulling up to a location or chasing someone down, he would be in the iconic car that they give him because that's what they would issue him. Right? Do you know what I mean? So it's weird that he's writing this about, what you write. And it's not strange that the developers are talking about more of a plot because obviously they're like, yeah, he's young. Great. That's the established. That's the baseline that they have now for the character. Now you have to build around him. All right, well, he's young. Is he going to have all the tech that he would have if he was an established 007? Because again, the game is about him becoming 007. So they don't really trust him yet because he hasn't earned the trust yet from them, but he's also an agent of the thing, but he's not a 00 yet, right? He's not at least that's what I think in the game. So obviously he's not going to get the fancy stuff. He's going to start off a little bit, but they're not going to give him a shitty car, but they're also not going to give him something. You know what I mean? So it's very strange. Obviously, context is everything. Context is everything for anything. And especially in a 007 brand, you can't give him a fucking Miata, right? It's not going to happen. Mr. Luke, what's going on? It says the question's wrong. It's what would he be drive, not what wouldn't he drive. Whoa, question. Right. He will drive a Geo Metro. Okay. He's a struggling college kid coming out of college, doesn't know how to get there. He's got a broken down car. Like, these are things that is not going to happen. Like, he's given a car. He's not renting a car. Right? Even if he steals one. Right? It all depends on what it is. If he's running away from someone and he sees a Porsche and a Honda, guess which one he's taking? Guess which one he's taking? He's not going to be like, well, it's a white Porsche and it's a red Miata. Right? He's going to take the white Porsche because obviously he's Bond. He can't be seen behind one of the... Unless he's in Miami. I think we drive a convertible Miata. You know what I mean? Hey, just to fuck with him. Yeah. So he wants another Hitman. Well, basically, it's funny because they made Bond, and they're like, yeah, it's like Hitman, and yet there's a mod for Hitman that puts Daniel Craig in the game to make it a Bond. Look, I hope the game is good. I do. I do hope it's good. I find it a little weird right now because a lot of people that usually give games a little open criticism, right? They're like, oh, this is what it is. This is what it is. There's a lot of positivity going around this game. And I'm not saying that they're bought and paid for, but it just seems very odd. Maybe the game is just working really well and no one has anything bad to say about it. But it seems very strange now that the people that usually talk openly about games are kind of talking positive about this game, where the media like this is talking weird about the game, not even bad about the game, just bad about the brand. It makes me wonder, is the game like super good and the regular media doesn't like it? Or is something else going on behind the scenes? I don't know. Xbox is getting a new boot up animation on Wednesday. Are we supposed to be excited about that? Am I supposed to, Kylo, am I supposed to, are we supposed to clap for Asha? Are we supposed to clap for Asha because she made a different change? I don't know what we're supposed to do there. I don't know what to do. Ray says Bond driving an electric Jaguar would destroy his image. I remember a story one time, Ray. I think they wanted him to drive a Tesla in a movie. But I thought there was a story. Hold on. Let me see if I could find it. No. I remember a story that they wanted to use a Tesla. But they're like, no, he wouldn't use it. I forget where it is. The dudes I trust haven't disappointed me yet. Enjoyed it so. Well, I don't know who you were watching for Mind's Eye when you said it looked good. So I hope you're not watching that person ever again. It's the big corporation machine. It tells us what we need to like. No, I know, Kylo. I'm just saying, because everyone's so excited about Asha Sharma changing stuff. Now they're changing the screen of Xbox. Everyone's going to be like, I don't know what to do. Cisco says, boot up the game, 3 out of 10. Yeah. Give him a Cybertruck, drive it for 10 seconds, and it breaks down. Ray says, never trust Young. Yeah. He lost a lot of credibility because of Cyberpunk. A lot. I got to sit in one. They're pretty cool. I'll be honest with you, Dolphin. It looks like shit because it sticks out like a sore thumb with the rest of the cars on the road. It is pretty cool, though. Aku says, 30. This is James Bond, not Johnny English. Yeah. Sorry, it's Jim Bond. It's Jim Bond, according to the writer. Wait a second. How did he lose credibility for Cyberpunk? I don't know the story. Did you watch him back in the day when he was talking all praise for Cyberpunk? You don't remember those days? Just Enough says, I agree with that take, 30. It looks like it doesn't belong on the road. Right. It's because it's so far out there. Remember, we were supposed to have flying cars by now. We were supposed to have flying cars by now. Look at the cars on the road, right? Teslas, they don't stick out like a sore thumb, but you see them everywhere now. All over the world, right? You see, especially in the United States, you see them all over the place, right? They become like common, right? When you saw a Cybertruck when it first showed up, you're like, oh my God, it's a Cybertruck. But now there's a lot of Cybertrucks on the road. And it looks like the future. And they sticks out like a sore thumb because all the rest of the cars still look like they're just normal cars. But that car looks like it's supposed to be somewhere else. Roic says, if you have to nitpick about this stuff because you can't find anything else to complain about, it's just me pretty good. From what I've seen about the James Bond stuff, again, it was very, very curated stuff that we watched. I have concerns. But I'll wait for the game to come out. I'm not pre-ordering it. I'm not buying day one. Hell, I'm not even buying month 6. Right? I'll pick it up later down the road. If it's good and people like it, I'll be like, oh, cool. I'll add it to the collection. It's just too damn boxy. Yeah, but have you been in one? Have you sat in one? Go sit in one. And I can guarantee you everything that you think about it when you don't own one. I don't own one. I don't own an electric car. But I'll tell you this. Looking at the car, because we had a guy, my son was like infatuated with one, and we saw one, and the guy was at a restaurant. He was sitting outside sipping his coffee, and he goes, and my son was like, "Oh, look at that, Dad! It's a Cybertruck." I was like, "Yeah, it's cool, right?" And he's like, "Oh, can we go sit in one? Like, you want to go to the dealership?" And the guy was outside. He's like, "You want to sit in it?" He's like, "Yeah." And he opened up the door, and we sat in it. And let me tell you, man, it's fucking impressive on the inside of that thing. And I would assume, as the owner, you're not looking at the boxy. You're sitting on the inside going, yeah, this is fucking cool. Right? So, on the outside, everyone else has to look at it. Boxy to me is the new fucking Hummer. The Hummer is like a box. The Rover's like a box. Like if it tipped over, it wouldn't roll. It would just be like, poof. You know what I mean? El Dente says, yeah, it belongs in a fridge because a child drew it. Water says it's amazing to drive. I drove one down to Florida. Yeah, I guarantee you your whole spectrum of what the car looks like when you sit in it will completely change. Water says, I just hate the way it looks. Yeah. Love it or hate it, there's no mistaking it's a Cybertruck. 100%. The guy was so happy he got a positive response. I think he was more of he saw my son's eyes light up, and he was just like, you know what I mean? Just that moment of like, let this kid. My son knows a lot about Tesla. He likes Elon Musk, and he likes about the space program. My son's a very like engineered type of person. He wants to meet Elon Musk, and he wants to ask him so many questions about so many different things that he does. My mom owns one of those first boxy cars, like the PT Cruiser or something like that. I think it's ass outside, but inside it's roomy as hell. Oh, no. You're thinking of the boxy one that's boxy as hell on the outside is that there's a Kia. I forget what it's called. No, is it a Kia? No, I don't even think it was a Scion. It was a Scion. And then there's the one that Honda made where it's just a fucking box and the seats all folded up. I forget what that one's called. Ray says the PT Cruiser GT is amazing. Comfortable and performance was amazing. Jesse Max says, 30, have you seen the article about how Amazon, they have no idea what to do with James Bond IP? No, I haven't seen that. How the fuck do you not know what to do with the IP of James Bond? Here's what you do. Don't make it a woman. Keep it a British guy. And then there you go. Work from there. Honda Element. That's it, right? Thank you. Some guy let me sit in my cousin sit in his Lambo once at the gas station. I don't ever want to get in a low car again. The older I get, when I open a door, I just want to, you know what I mean? It's got to be the height of. I don't want to step up. I don't want to lay down. I just want to get in. That's my benefit of a car. But like, I don't care what color it is. I don't care how fast it goes. I just want, when I open the door, I can just basically just get in. Like my head's at this height. I sit down. It's at the exact same height. I don't have to try to get in or out of the car. Keep it a white British guy. I don't want to see Idris Elba as much as I love him. Yeah, I would say keep it simple. Keep it the same. Don't make it a black guy. Just keep James Bond. If you want to do a complete look, if you want to change it, tell a different story. 002, 001, 006, 005, 009, right? Pick a different 00, right? You don't have to keep telling the story of James Bond. Go a different route. But don't make 007 somebody else. Keep it the same. There's plenty of other 00s you can do. Let me see what's going on Twitter. Let's see here. Oh, Mortal Kombat comes out this week. Mortal Kombat 2. When did the first one come out? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? So who's excited for the new Harry Potter show? Not me. How can you say it's the closest to the books as possible and then make a black Snape? That would be the farthest from the books possible, wouldn't it? Oh, here you go. Here's an article. Disney CEO on why gaming could be the company's next big growth driver. Okay. It says the Walt Disney Company releases the latest earnings report today. They include the announcement was updated games business. In particular, Disney said it's seeing gaming as an area of growth, saying gaming is an area of business that doesn't deliver significant revenue yet, but it's strategically important to the company overall as it looks to the future. You literally sold and closed down all of your studios that were in gaming. You literally gave the contract to EA where they made 4 games in 12 years. Or 6 games in 12 years, whatever it was. Like, you could completely destroy the entire gaming division in Walt Disney. Why? CEO Josh D'Amaro said that Disney's $1.5 billion investment in Epic Games and Fortnite speak to Disney's eagerness to do more in gaming. Interactive platforms are increasingly relatively medium for the younger audiences to engage with the characters and stories and collectibles or collaborations with Epic Games is central to the efforts in space, he said. Or in spades. No, in space, he said. Our characters are amongst other popular across the Fortnite universe. As an example, D'Amaro said that the Simpsons Fortnite event in November of 2025 saw 780 million hours played by more than 80 million unique players. More recently, Disney and Epic teamed up to give Fortnite creators a suite of tools to make their own Star Wars games on the Fortnite platform. Okay, Disney game executive Sean Shoptaw told the Hollywood Reporter these days our storytelling isn't confined to a single screen. It lives in the worlds fans can step into and the shape together. It was part of the reason why Disney and Epic teamed up with Fortnite creators to make their own Star Wars games. The combination of cinematic storytelling, social connections, the passionate creator community is also how these worlds can deepen fandom and engage new fans in innovative ways, he said. That is the minimal viable product, let me tell you. I played a bunch of the Star Wars stuff, and they're fun. Don't get me wrong. They're fun. But it's nothing like making a game like Knights of the Old Republic, or nothing like TIE Fighter back in the day, or nothing like even The Last Jedi, or not The Last Jedi, Cal Kestis, Jedi Survivor, right? It's nothing like any of those things. I will take a Battlefront over this minimal viable garbage that they've put in Fortnite, right? I will take anything over taking the brand of Star Wars and making it into a Monopoly game or turning it into a small little mobile phone game. Like, the fact that Walt Disney's whole vision for Disney World was for children and families, and now in the future, they own the biggest IPs in children and families, and yet they don't know what to fucking do with it, is mind-boggling to me. That these people that run companies are like, I don't know how to get the kids back. We don't know how to market it towards it. Like, you already had the industry, okay, when you were talking about girls with princesses and stuff like that. You had that down pat, okay? You had to try to get the boys, so you bought Marvel, you bought Star Wars, and you thought to yourself, we're going to make these brands that are for boys into girls. The fuck are we talking about? During the earnings call today, DeMauro said working with Epic and building new Fortnite experiences helped Disney reach an audience that doesn't currently tap into a significant way. He said working with Fortnite should help the iconic Disney flywheel strategy that acts as spoke on the wheel to drive players to other Disney products. This is no surprise. As DeMauro said himself, leaked comments that Fortnite could one day sell people Disney Cruise Line tickets and connect to the wider Disney world in new ways. Yeah, that's why you should get to Fortnite. So you could sell cruise tickets, because that's what someone does. I can't wait for my son to play Fortnite and go, Daddy, can we go on a Disney cruise because Josh DeMauro put an ad inside of Fortnite? I'll be like, oh, what a great idea. Not only do I want a battle pass, but now I want to buy cruise tickets through Fortnite. That's genius. Genius. I'm being very facetious here, if you guys don't know. Given the close connection between Disney and Epic, some of the theorized that Disney could buy Fortnite, and even a former Disney executive said that could happen. I think it's going to happen. All right. Imagine having The Simpsons, Star Wars, Marvel, and they're like, hey, did you guys know that video games are important? We're trying to grab the boy industry. We shut down all of the boy industry for video games. And then we also turned Star Wars and Marvel into girl brands. Bravo. Amazing. Imagine being a CEO and going, do kids still play video games? We should invest in video games. Why did we close all our video games? May 2016, 10 years ago, right? Disney shut down its internal game development division, Disney Interactive Studios, effectively ending its first-party console game publishing business, and decision to follow discontinuation of Disney Infinity series and aim to reduce the financial risk of self-publishing, shifting towards licensing model for the properties. How'd that work out for you? Okay. April 2013, right after Disney bought them, Disney shut down LucasArts as an internal game developer In April of 2013, following their acquisition of Lucasfilm in 2012, roughly 150 employees were laid off. The projects like Star Wars 1313, First Assault were canceled. The studio shifted the licensing model to Disney's outsourcing Star Wars game development primary to Electronic Arts. And now they're like, hey, we should get into gaming. We should buy Epic. Or maybe you should open up the fucking game studios you had before. I don't know, call me crazy. Call me crazy. Why wouldn't you invest? Why wouldn't you invest in the largest division in the world, which is gaming, to opening up 2 studios? One for Lucas, one for... Hell, I would open up a fucking Marvel division, right? I would open up a Marvel division, just make Marvel games, just make Star Wars games, and just make Disney games, right? Just keep making them. They would rather outsource them because they don't want to make the thing. They would rather give them to other people. Mind-boggling. They're like, we should invest. So instead of investing in your own companies, you're like, oh, we'll just buy. We don't want to do the actual work. We close them down and then we'll buy someone else's stuff. It's so strange. Right. And only do crossovers with your own studios. I mean, Tim Sweeney says he's not interested. Let's see. When Disney buys Epic, not if, when Disney buys Epic, we will look at the Activision Blizzard deal and go, oh, it was only $70 billion? We will look at this Epic pickup from Disney and be like, how much? 100 and what? Billion? Let's see. Epic is worth $30 billion. Oh, that's Epic System. Hold on. No, Epic Games. Sorry. Epic Games estimated valuation is $22.5 billion. Following $1.5 billion investment from Disney, the valuation represents a decline from its peak of $31.5 billion in April of 2022. Well, let's see. 95 per share, the announcement. Yeah, they were worth $68 billion. The cash deal was up to $68 billion. What were they before? What was Activision worth before Microsoft picked them up? The cash deal was at $68 billion, but what were they worth? What year was that? That was 2022? Over $70 billion earlier in the year, approximately $51.81 billion by December 31st of 2021. So before they bought them, they were $51.8 billion. When the number is 0 and the check is unlimited, you will sell, Tim. That's right. He will sell. Just what will he sell it for? Dolphin says the suits think games get made overnight. Yeah, but why would you close Lucas? Why would you close? You picked up Lucas and then closed their gaming studio. In the market, when I get games was not as high back then as it was today, but it was still one of the largest markets out there. And they're like, now we'll close it down. And then not make anything. They signed a deal with EA to make exclusive games just with one company. How stupid is that is amazing to me, because it's like we had our own studio. We had 2 games in development that were almost done. We closed our studio down, canceled those games, and then signed a contract with EA to be the exclusive person to make Star Wars games, and they only made 6 games in 12 years. Where Star Wars used to make tons and tons of games. Altern says, but Epic doesn't have money, guys. Please, buy some V-Bucks to fund them. Someone please open a GoFundMe for Tim Sweeney. Like hell, I'll be in my early 60s if they made Battlefront 3. Yeah, I'll probably play with my grandkids. Yeah. I don't even think we'll get a Battlefront 3, I'll be honest with you. I don't think we get a Battlefront 3 anymore, and which is funny because I thought we would get one. But technically we do. If you go play the Galactic or Frontlines, it's called Frontlines on Fortnite, that is Battlefront 3. In the most minimal viable product way possible, that is Battlefront 3. It's fun, but it's not the same. El Dente says they're going to make a Battlefront remake again. Right, but they'll make a remake of the second version, not the first version like they did. El Dente says, don't you dare say that. I did. And that's what they're going to make. Especially, unless they're in a contract right now. And they're like, EA, because they opened it up, remember, they opened it up to anybody that wants to make a Star Wars game. So EA right now should be making a Battlefront 3 if they were smart. Is it good? It's fun. It's fun. The Frontline one, not the Galactic. The Galactic one I played online the other day on stream. That's okay. The Frontline one on Epic is Battlefront. It's Battlefront. Just minimal viable product Battlefront. No. Battlefront 2 doesn't get any content. Unless you use the Kyber one, which is the Kyber mod on PC. So they're still updating it on PC, but consoles is what it is. Not officially updated, by the way. The remake is of a Fortnite mode, not even the 2017 Battlefront. All right, I'm going to put it out there. Ready? By 2030, Star Wars will redo, or EA will remake, sort of like the classic collection for Star Wars, but they'll do it for Battlefront 1 and 2. That'll be the next thing we get. We'll get that before we get a Battlefront 3. Ray says Battlefront 2 campaign was a lie. I wanted to go to be the Empire. I was a rebel again. Yeah, it was a bait and switch. It's a bait and fucking switch. You're like, yes, we get to do the story from the Empire side. And then you're like, motherfucker, they made me good again. They made me good again. It wasn't a bad campaign, though, to be honest with you. Jason says, just let it die. Well, we'll let it die. They won't. They ain't gonna let it die. They're remaking Harry Potter. Jason, you think corporations that pay billions of dollars for a brand are not going to redo stuff? Come on now. Well, to be fair, Travis, I wasn't bait and switched. I only bought it because I liked Battlefront, the original Battlefront, and the Battlefront 1 that they created. So I bought it for the PvP side. I bought it for the PvP side. It was a bonus that they gave me single player. I wasn't expecting that. It was a bait and switch on that part, but not a bait and switch on the other part. All right. It is that time. Oh, what is this? This is James Bond? Oh, no. Machine Games did an update to James Bond, to Indiana Jones. They did an actual map update, what, 2 years later, a year and a half later, where you can now have the marker on there to find things easier. For God's sakes. They're like, people are just not playing the game because it's just too hard to find the things in the map. They're like, well, let's fix that. Nintendo. We're not going to read the story. I'll submit it, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Nintendo is reportedly facing pressure to raise the price of Switch 2 consoles as costs rise as its shares price continues to fall. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nintendo. Raise the price. See what happens. Join the likes of Xbox and PlayStation. Do it. Do it. Jack says, did they fix the broken quest? No, they fixed the map. They didn't fix the broken quest. Oh, I know you guys are doing this. I know someone out there is doing this. Okay. Okay. The 007 First Light Collector's Edition is $200 and comes out May 27th. And I kind of think of the mask as a better physical item and the gold gun in the $299.99 Legacy Edition. Right? Who's buying the $200 edition and who's buying the $300 edition? Dustin enters the chat. El Dente says you're going to make your unsellable console even more unsellable. It does include the game. It does. Yeah. Look, okay. Are you guys ready? Here is Kylo brought this up earlier. Are you guys ready? This is the new login screen. This is the new login screen for Xbox that comes out next week. Are you guys ready? So excited. They changed the opening of it. Oh my God. It's the greatest thing ever created. It looks and sounds amazing. Asha's making big moves. I don't know if this is real or is this a meme. Looks and sounds amazing. Asha's making big moves. Like, what are we talking about? Big moves. It's a 4-second opening of when you turn on your Xbox. Kraken says, can someone tell Xbox no one gives a fuck? Oh my God. Here's what you guys really want. Before we leave, everyone left already. See, this is why you can't leave. It's because I said, it's that time. Everyone's like, all right, see you later. Here is pictures. Hold on. Do we have all the pictures? Okay. Here's pictures of Gabe Newell's. Okay. This is from PC Gamer. Here are 55 new pictures of Gabe Newell's $500 million super yacht. As Argus is a super.
At Solom_Argus
thank you very much.
Celebrates 27 months of membership. Pictures.
Here's the pictures. Yeah, these are pictures. Thank you very much for the 27 months. Appreciate you, Argus. Right? We're gonna look at 55 new photos of the $500 million super yacht. Okay. Here we go. Here's picture one. Can we open these up in a different tab? All right, here we go. So there's picture one of his super yacht. This is where he makes the tough decisions for Steam. Right? Here's picture number two. All right, there's the scuba room or the engine room, right? Look at that fucking thing. Look at this. It's like AI created it. You would think a Bond villain lived on this thing. Are we sure Gabe Newell's not a Bond villain? He's a villain to the industry. This is 100% a Bond villain yacht. Oh my God. Can you imagine being in this studio and you're like, yeah, we're going to the yacht today to work. Hey guys. The Steam machine's coming out. We just sold out of our controllers, the Steam controller. Let's go talk about it. Let's get on the boat. Let's go to the small yacht here and let's talk about what we can do better. It's shaped as a pyramid. Look at this thing. It's a rough life. And by the way, they can't eat the cost of the Steam machine. That's right, Altern. That's right. They just can't do it. How would they pressure wash this boat? Where are the corporate offices for Steam? Somewhere in the sea. It's called the Leviathan. Look at this thing. It's fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, good for him. Good for him. I'm not mad or jealous in any way, shape, or form. I just think it's funny when you tell me, well, you just can't give this consoles for cheap and lose money to get more people to come in. Do you understand if the Steam machine came out and it was cheaper than the PlayStation and cheaper than the Xbox? Do you understand what it would do to the industry? Do you understand what PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo would do? Well, yeah, if you have a $500 million yacht, your cost for fuel, okay, is millions and millions of dollars. That's crazy. I'm going to apply. I want to work for Steam. Dustin, if a boat flies, it's no longer a boat. If future boats that fly, it's no longer a boat. It's a plane. And if it goes under the water, it's a submarine. That's crazy, dude. What a boat. Yacht. Sorry, that's not a boat. That's a yacht. August says, I keep hearing people say that the Steam machine is going to be $750, $800, and this is them if they keep it on the expensive side. In what fucking world do they think it's going to be that cheap? I mean, I would love if they went cheaper. Obviously. Just the fact that it would change the entire landscape of gaming, Argus. You know what I mean? Because if they could lower the cost and get it into the hands of people, and I said this the other day, maybe the first 2 million people that are like, don't sell on your store. They look at your account, the first million people, whatever, to buy the console based on your history of being a loyal Steam person. That would incentivize the people that already have computers to be like, yeah, I'll buy one. And they might give that to somebody else as a gift. They might buy it for themselves, whatever it is. But they have them first. Then they open it up to everybody else. And if it's very cheap, holy Christ. Xbox, it's almost the exact same thing. What the whole industry is waiting to see what Grand Theft Auto does. If Grand Theft Auto comes out and says $60 game, not $70, not $80, just $60, the entire industry is like, but what about us? We wanted to charge $70, $80. They would lose their minds because obviously Rockstar doesn't have to give it for $70, $80. They can give it for $60 and still make a shit ton of money. It's $900,000 minimum for sure. I love it for to be cheaper, but get into more hands, but open up the PC gaming and be realistic here. No, I get that. What I'm saying is to be a disruptor in the game industry. Obviously, Xbox and PlayStation can't lower their price because they have to compete. Gabe is a Bond villain on the coast of the ocean here, right? Where they're making $1.5 billion, right? Like per employee or $1 million, whatever per employee. It's ridiculous. The amount limit. There's only 360 employees. They could lose money on something just to get it out there for a limited time and then raise the price back up to where it's supposed to be to get the buzz about it. Astro says maybe he can't afford to piss off Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. He would face consequences of some sort. The question is, does he give a shit? Question is, would he give a shit? Because he's not making games. He's making a platform where games happen. He doesn't need Microsoft. He doesn't need them. He doesn't need PlayStation. He doesn't need any of them. They should do the villain thing and sell them at a loss for $600 and put Microsoft and Sony out of business. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, Al Dente. They do it so low that the industry would be like, holy shit. Right? They wouldn't be able to, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. To be like, this is unfair. They would probably take them to court. Eclipse says if anyone can do it, it's him. Because he has his own storefront to sell his products. Exactly. He doesn't need any of them. He's not, well, now he's making a product. But he's an area where people are just throwing their games on the platform. What are they going to do? We're not going to put our first party title games on your launcher. Oh no. Okay. What would I ever do with that 1 million copies sold? Oh look, an indie dev just sold 10 million units on my platform. Oh no. I mean, don't get me wrong. $1 million is $1 million, or 1 million copies is 1 million copies. But Valve doesn't need Microsoft or PlayStation to put their stuff on. Doesn't need any of it. I mean, obviously, it's probably not going to happen that it's going to be underpriced and shake up the industry. But goddamn, that'd be nice. It would expose them. It'd expose every single one of them. Yeah, Altars. Oh no! What would I do with the other 20,000 games that show on my store? Oh no! Someone help me! It's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where he's like, "Oh no! Stop! Wait! Don't!" You know what I mean? It's like, okay, no, don't stop. Yeah. Xbox, PlayStation don't even make a lot of first-party games to begin with. Steam definitely doesn't need either of them. Of course not. Do you understand how if Gabe Newell really wanted to shake up the industry, he could do it super easy with the Steam Deck or the Steam box, Steam machine. Super easy. They eat the cost, which they can afford, because they're super profitable. Super profitable. We looked it up the other day. Let's look it up again. Okay. Valve generates $50 million in revenue per employee. Per employee. With roughly 350 employees driving around $17 billion in total company revenue. The average employee compensation is estimated to be $1.3 million annually. Right? If I told you that we can make even more money in the long run by just putting our system, we eat the cost of the system. They don't lower the cost of the console, like the controller. They don't lower just the box. Just the box. Right? You're still paying $100 for the thing unless it's bundled, right? Put it out there. Lower that cost. Put it below the comparable consoles that are out there, which is the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, and you undercut them, and holy hell, they would lose their shit. Lose their shit. Each employee generates $50 million in revenue. Each. You're telling me they can't take a cut on the consoles? Oh no. Only every person in the company only generates now $46 million per person because they ate the cost of the console. Yeah, each Dolphin. Yeah, let me bring it up on the screen for you so you can see it. Okay. Valve generates nearly $50 million in revenue per employee, with the roughly 350 employees driving around $17 billion in total company revenue in 2025. That's an efficient fucking company. So I think they could take a hit on the consoles, even if it's for just 6 months, a year. They sell them out. Put $1 million up there for a cost of loss, 2 million units for a cost of loss. Stir up some buzz. People are like, "Holy shit!" I work with ethanol. I'm in the wrong industry. Yeah, but this is an outlier. This is not like most companies. This is an outlier. And this is one of the most efficient companies out there because of their overhead. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, chat. Now I'm done. We'll be back tonight. Shooting the shit with Sarge tonight. I think we're playing some State of Decay 2. El Dente says, make it on sale, on release for the first year, and undersell. Make PlayStation and Microsoft sweat. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And so scalpers and stuff don't get it. You limit it. You limit it to people that are on your Steam platform. You look at it and go, oh, this person's been on Steam. They have a library. They've been there for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. They have to just associate a long-standing account on Steam, and then you purchase it. Right, whatever it is, right? And if someone's interested in it, then you pick it up. Right? And you could sell it if you want to somebody else. You can give it to somebody, right? Start word of mouth, be like, hey, that's a great box. It'd be fantastic. And think about that. Think about the goodwill Steam would get even more. Be like, yeah, loyal customers that have been with Steam are the first ones to get their hands on the Steam machine if they want. People will be like, holy shit, I already have a computer. I don't even want one. They're like, I'll pick up one. We'll see. Steam account's older than 2 years. Yeah, why not? Do something different because you can. All right, we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern over on 30 and Still Gaming. We play video games over there. We're playing probably State of K2, like I said, with Sarge tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back for the Daily Grind for the Thursday edition. And then Thursday night, podcast, Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 489. We're closing in on 500. Make sure you guys check it out. Appreciate it very much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Oh yeah, yeah. Stay tuned. Everybody stand up, yeah, like I stayed up. We been away, yeah. It started in the movies, Katniss with a bow. The Hunger Games planted seeds we didn't even know. Kids on Minecraft servers built a game to survive. Chess spawns in the center, only one walks out alive. Blocks turn to bullets, squares in the skies. A new way to play, a new way to rise. From mods to modes, the idea caught fire. One winner standing, that's all we require. Battle Royale, the good, the bad, the craze. You rewrote the rules, you changed the arcade. From hunger in the mines to parachutes that fall. Now every game dreams they could have it all. Battle Royale, the good, the bad, the craze. You rewrote the rules, you changed the arcade. From hunger in the mines to parachutes that fall. Now every game dreams they could have it all. PUBG made the drop, Fortnite built the stage, Apex brought the speed, Warzone brought the rage, even Tetris tried it, stacking lines to survive. Now every dev out here thinks BR keeps them alive. The thrills in the circle, the storm closing in, the heartbreak of second, the glory of win. But for every highlight a burnout waits, too many clones, can't seal a game's fate. Battle Royale, the good, the bad, the craze. You rewrote the rules, you changed the arcade. From hunger in the mines to parachutes that fall. Now every game dreams they could have it all. Battle Royale, the good, the bad, the craze. You rewrote the rules, you changed the arcade. From hunger in the mines to parachutes that fall. Now every game dreams they could have it all. Some games lost their soul, chasing that crown, built the BR mode. Watch their fans walk out. It's not just the mode, it's the magic, the fight. You can't fake the fire, that first late night. From blocks to battlegrounds, from bows to battle sounds. It started as a spark, now it owns the charts. The good is the rush, the bad is the grind. But there's no denying you changed the times. Battle Royale.